All right, and welcome to the Strike Hammer Podcast, episode 141 with me, Chuck Moore, and Fit_Hammer. Because,
Hello.
yeah, I don't know if you realized it last time, Alex. I think you had your real name
Yes.
up, and I didn't realize
Yes.
it till after it was already up. I'm
People
like,
know my real name. It's all on my social media, but
yeah,
it's like I like having the brand, obviously.
that's fine. That's fine. We're coming to you today. Slight crisis on my part. I had to fix my camera and managed to spill my entire drink all over my desk. Thankfully, I have a nice
Goodness.
neoprene mat, so it's wet.
What are you having?
Uh, what was I having?
Yes.
Oh, LaCroix.
Okay.
So,
I'm having a nice coffee.
ooh, nice. Um, but yeah, with that said, Alex, how the heck are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Today is an odd day. It's rained pretty heavily, but now it's nice out.
Yep. It's
Spend some time
been
outside later in the day.
yeah, it's been nice here. I mean, I recorded with Neil. It's weird. This is one of
Mm.
those ones, folks, where I recorded with Alex after, which is usually opposite.
Oh
I
wow.
was up
What's going on
early to
there?
record with Neil. Hit up some flea markets. Found some flea market not flea markets, yard sales. Found a few yard sale deals, and wrapping up the evening talking to Alex. More Warhammer on the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, I haven't seen much rain though, so that's why I'm confused.
That's odd because it was raining pretty hard here. And usually when it rains, I'm in a like just a sleepy mood. I just cannot be like get going and be active
Oh,
when it
sure, yeah.
rains. So like I took a nap with my cats for like an hour and a half, and I fell asleep. It was raining. Woke up. It was raining. So I just assumed it was raining the whole time. It was raining almost the whole morning. So yeah.
Trust me, a nap sounds good right now after being up since like 6 a.m.
Well, after this, actually,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's getting late. It's like
At some point, it's like, do you just stay up and go to bed early, or do you take a nap?
exactly. But no one's here to listen to this. We know this. We
They
know why you
are.
people are here. You beautiful listeners and watchers. You're here to know how Alex's lawn is doing.
That is exactly why they're here. It's good. It's a little bit higher than it should be, a little bit longer than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning to cut it today, but the grass is very, very wet, very saturated with wetness too. So even though
Yes.
it's nice out now, I could maybe cut the lawn later in the day, but it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
on the later side. So I think I'm just going to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be nice. And then
It
you,
looks like it.
yeah, for nice Father's Day. Um, yeah.
That's right. Father's Day tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. As time of recording, Father's Day yesterday. It's time of listening to this
That's
podcast
right.
on
That's right.
release day.
Very confusing.
Yes, we are all over the place. Yeah. Well, I gave my lawn updates on the other side with Neil, but my
Wow. Wow.
garden,
That's a
the
good
garden
trade.
update. We're doing garden update here.
People are getting confused.
I
Usually we
know.
do one in the beginning.
I'm confused too. Plus, I'm so sleepy. Like it's oh, garden's doing well. Plants are coming up. There's a few that aren't.
Mhm.
However, I will say this: at my local farmers market,
Ooh.
Alex's mother has
Ah,
a booth. So
she does have a booth at local farmers
so I,
market.
I go chat up Alex's mother every Saturday morning.
I always ask them like, "Hey, have you seen Chuck?" Like, "Oh yeah, he was walking around."
Yeah, I chatted with them for a little bit, but actually, she's going to be giving me some. 'Cause she's recently back from a trip abroad. She's going to give me some dill seeds and some
Oh,
parsley
nice.
seeds. She might give it to you to give to me to put in the garden.
Wow,
So
very good.
yeah, I'm gonna be having.
You
I'm
didn't
gonna
even
be.
tell me that. So you're talking to my mom without me knowing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I am. Oh, I love it. Okay, yeah, lawn's good, garden's good. Hobby
I
time,
love it.
Alex.
Hobby?
You have some hobby time.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah. Let me bring it up
Not a
here.
lot, but quite varied.
You tell me. You actually tell me where you want to start because I have the pictures just thrown up, and we'll see.
Sure, let's start with the reading. So I finished the last of the books for me of the Godric and Felix,
Nice.
and it's Vampire Slayer. It's book number 6, and it was very good. It was very good. It's probably so far in. I don't know if it quite makes the top 3 because there's a lot of really good books.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good books.
Right,
Yeah.
right. My favorite so far has been the Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And then I think the next would be Beast Slayer, and then the next would be Skaven Slayer.
Have you
So
read Dragon Slayer yet?
yes, actually, I liked it, but I
I like that
couldn't.
one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's actually number 5 for me.
Okay.
I think I liked Vampire Slayer a little bit more. So, but I mean, they're all good for different reasons,
Yes.
and I do like how cinematic they are. Like, even though they are separate books, they literally pick up where you left last time.
Oh yeah. Like
So it
immediately.
does feel
Yeah.
like you're watching a show, or like following a Lord of the Rings trilogy or something like that, where they don't, like, at least so far, don't skip to like, hey, 10 years later or 20 years later. Like, it's literally you left off here and you're picking up literally in the same spot.
Right. Yeah.
It's great.
I'm actually I'm trying because I still have what's the Vermin Slayer, the latest one from the Sigmar series. So
Yes,
since
it
I'm caught up
yeah.
to everything, that's the one I need. I'm committed to at least starting a couple chapters this weekend.
You do actual reading format, right? You
Yeah,
don't
I do
listen to it.
physical book. Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it, and it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not the worst one.
No, I think the worst one was the last one for me. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see if this one is like. I mean, Gotrek's always a gem.
Gotchic is awesome.
It's just about
Gotchic is always good.
it's about the
They haven't messed
companion.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll
but yeah,
see if the companion starts to grow on me or not. Or let's hope Age of Sigmar 5.0 jumps 100 years and she just dies off. I don't know what to say.
I think let me put it this way: if that's your main concern, you will be pleasantly surprised.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the exciting part. And I'm not a like Felix is the OG. He's the great one.
right,
But like
right.
I loved Malineth.
Yeah,
And I loved a couple of the other ones. It's just like it's not that I'm missing Felix in this case. It's just
it's just the setting is Age of Sigmar, just a little bit different. And I heard a few people complain that Gotcha kind of takes the backside of the story, but following along the newer Gothic and Felix books, Gothic books, and then at the same time reading the Gothic and Felix books, I would say
Felix.
it's not the
Yeah,
case.
Felix is always like the main protagonist in those
Right,
books.
right.
Yeah.
And Gotrek always seems to be kind of in the background and occasionally shining, but usually like
Yes.
there's whole chapters almost without Gotrek in the books. So I don't think there's any less Gotrek, but it's definitely everything that's around him is not quite as high quality as
Yeah,
other
yeah,
books.
it's about the person companion with them seeing the world revolve around this being that it shouldn't exist in a lot of ways.
Right, right. Yeah, so I think the once we lost Malineth is really when the quality for me also dropped a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna read the Gotrek book and then I got the Malneth book to see what she's got going on. So we'll
Oh, good, good. I mean, let me know how you like it because I have not purchased the Boundless book, but I will if it's something you
well,
recommend.
I picked up the collector's edition, so I hope I like it.
Okay, good, good. And then other hobby,
Yes.
I built a Krieg kill team. It was printed
Ooh.
for me by my friend Giovanni, and yeah, it's obviously not the official GW models, but
Sure.
they I think look good enough.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm excited to play with them. Now, unfortunately, I was surprised by this. The Krieg Kill Team can have up to 14 models, and he only printed 10 for me.
Um, I'd have to see because really the way the kill team works now, is like there's the preset lists that you buy the box essentially.
Right, right. And there's certain choices you can make, at least in the app. Maybe they updated it.
Maybe maybe it's something with that specific one. I'm not
Right.
sure. I play the Sisters of Battle one, so
Okay.
it's kind of
Got it. Got
preset.
it.
There's different weapon
Sure.
options, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it actually is updated. So the way you can do it is you can take up to 4 extra Krieg, just like regular troops, or instead of it, you could take up to 4 like tactics or whatever they're called. I haven't quite played a lot of Kill Team.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
I could make it work with 10, but I did have 2 Ratlings or a Ratling commemorative model for
From a recent
Warhammer.
raffle painting win.
Yes, yes. So I decided to actually paint them up or build them up and just clip the base in a way that would fit in 25 mil bases.
Yep.
And I'm going to use them for the Krieg team as a sniper and a healer.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good healer with the food.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's going to be great. And the sniper model is obviously very iconic looking as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it looks really good. That's a good idea to do it too.
Yeah, why
Because
not? Spice it up a little bit.
yeah, because otherwise too, like it's commemorative. You'd paint this up and you'd never use it. Now you'll use it.
Right. For me, I personally really struggle having motivation to paint a model if I can't at least feasibly use it. I don't have I do actually have to get a game to play with it, but
Right.
if I can't have to play with it, then I'm probably not going to paint it.
Entirely fair.
Yeah. And then lastly, my birthday was a few days ago
Yep. Happy
on
birthday.
thank
Woo.
you.
What are you? 23 now?
28, 28.
28. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. So I went to our local hobby store and just purchased some things as a little treat for the birthday. Got some paints, some stuff for basing minis, and a few miniatures, just oddball miniatures. End up talking to the store owner, who is our mutual friend, for about an hour while I was there. So it was a good time.
Nice. That's a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I have I talked about my completed hobby over with
Ooh.
Neil. You'll check that all out here soon. But something I'm working on right now Boom. I'm working on the Knives of the Crone. That's what's on the hobby desk right now.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah, no high elves. Daughters of Cain again, boys. Let's freaking
Wow.
go.
Still elves though.
Yeah, of course it's elves. Um, yeah. So I don't play Underworlds, but it's Daughters of Cain, so I must own it. I will play Underworlds if anyone wants to, but you have to teach me again because I have no idea how to play that game anymore. Um, yeah, I like the models, so painting those up, and that's gonna get me down to having one model left in my backlog, which would be,
Wow.
yeah, which,
That's impressive.
well, okay. I say one model left in my backlog that I want to paint right now. I
Sure,
technically
sure.
have three after this, but like I have a nice little high elf bust from
That's
Vist
cool.
Workshop. So that's
I like that.
the I call it the last thing on my backlog right now. I have two other busts because if anyone remembers from the start of the year, I had a goal every quarter of this year I would paint a
That's right.
bust.
That's right.
Um, so I did the first one, which was the nice gift of the Swole Bulbasaur, and then I have this guy up next, and then the other two for the next couple months or next couple
Nice.
quarters. And then I have an extra. I always keep an extra pocket, Dark Elf Sorceress on foot because it's one of my favorite sculpts, and like a kit bash idea will come.
Right,
So
right.
technically, my backlog will have three models in it, but that's fine.
Just it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's hardly a backlog.
you're right. And I just found out today. I'm so sometimes on the made to order stuff, if you get in early enough, you
Mm,
can actually get the first lot, and if you've missed, then they produce it.
right.
I was not quick enough on the high elves, so I'm gonna
Mm.
be waiting 180 days to get
Yeah.
my high elf heroes and official um, Stormweaver on unicorn. So sometime in the future, I'll have another 10 or so models on my backlog, and
Nice. Nice.
eventually one day Grand Cathay if it works out.
Right. Yeah. I was going to ask what's on your to-do list after this?
Well, I mean, I got some trips and vacations and stuff coming up.
Okay.
Grand Cathay, I want that very badly. I mean, I'm gonna buy the book. I'll buy the cards as usual. Probably in the dice because we'll do reviews and stuff here. But sorry guys, you'll hear me repeat this again over with Neil a little bit. But I need to make sure that I have the budget allowance for it
Sure.
because with
Sure.
trips and stuff on summer, it's a
You
little
got to
less
be
budgeting.
responsible.
Yeah,
Just put on a credit card. That's infinite money.
it is infinite money,
Yeah.
actually. But we'll see. Like, I'm not worried. Like, I want it, yes, but also I don't need it. So
There's no rush. There's
if
no
I
rush
don't
to get
buy
it.
it till autumn, I don't buy it till autumn. But
Right. It will be available. It's not gonna most likely not gonna run out. And if it does run out, they're gonna print more.
right, exactly.
Right.
But also if it's cheaper than I expect with the budget, then I'll pick up pick up what I want.
Sure. Yeah. Good
So
call.
yeah. Well, there's a lawn hobby. I guess we should talk something about fitness of a sort.
Do we have to
We don't
talk
have to. We
about
can talk about Warhammer all
we
you
go,
want.
okay, great. Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. Everyone out there talking in fitness space is just saying the same shit over and over again.
it really is. But sometimes it's
It is.
important to hear it 12 times.
I know. It's like there's always someone new, always like that. But like, oh, it's like
Right. Yeah, I
when
mean,
you're in the space, it's like I understand why they're doing it. Where's the space for people like me that doesn't need to hear the same thing 1,000 times?
yeah. Yeah, but I think to play devil's advocate as well
Hmm.
though, like there's so many things that I don't do well, even though I know I should do it.
Oh, sure.
So hearing it again, sometimes I'm like, ah, dang it. Like recently I was listening to Mind Pump podcast and they were talking about like, hey, a lot of people probably overtrain. And if you are a gym fanatic, you probably overtrain.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ah, maybe I am doing too much volume
You
sometimes.
you probably are.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
in the,
Like the
you,
one I train consistently for sure. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh wait, let me tell you real quick before we jump into
Sure.
fitness
Yeah, yeah.
segment. I had a really weird experience, which is going to be hopefully a cautionary tale, not to skip leg day. So because of different travels and just being busy, and actually, funny enough, going to today's topic, mentally was just no, not the best last couple of weeks. Doing great actually now this week, but I didn't do leg day for 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks, right? So the first leg day I did, now I started with some hamstring curls, nothing crazy, and then I'm moving into Bulgarian split squats, and I was feeling good, I was feeling strong, so I really pushed them.
Yeah.
I pushed them super hard, like literally where the last rep I was trembling and took like 3-4 seconds to get up just because it was so heavy,
Yeah.
right? I did three sets, and they were relatively heavy weight, so at least for me coming back.
Right.
And I'm moving on to the next exercise, and I'm just starting to feeling queasy, feeling tired,
I've
feeling lightheaded. So I go in the bathroom. There's a chair in the bathroom for some reason, so I sit down in the chair. I run cold water. I'm like, I need to get out of here because I think I'm going to pass out. So I drive home. The whole time driving, trying to focus, like trying
right.
to stay without passing out, which I probably really shouldn't do. I should have stayed at the gym for a little bit. I get home, take my clothes off, lay in bed, and I don't know if I either fell asleep or passed out.
Right.
And my heart was beating so hard. Like, you know how you put your hand on your neck to feel the pulse, and you kind of have to like be quiet and like and
Yeah.
shut up to be able to feel it. I didn't have to do that. I just put it here and like boop, 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 boop. It was it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I lay down. I think I fall asleep or pass out, but it was almost immediate. I wake up at 2 in the morning. I feel good. Can't fall asleep the rest of the for the
Right.
rest
Yeah.
of
You
the day.
just slept 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a really weird experience, but yeah. There's my cautionary tale not to skip leg day, or if you do skip it, maybe ease into it instead of going full throttle right
Yeah,
away.
and maybe also get regular checkups from the doctor if you have things like that happen more than once,
If it happens, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
just in case.
just in case. I actually was not sure what if you know what is going on, let me know
No,
in the comments.
I don't. I've I've pushed myself to the point where I threw up. Like that was like CrossFit,
Right,
but like
right.
I've been exhausted. Um, and and then like the whole like legs trembling, but like I've never felt like I was ever close to passing out ever. I felt like I was
Yeah.
exhausted or winded and like sick because like I
Mhm.
pushed too hard in CrossFit, but like no deadlifts, no squat, no nothing. Nothing I've ever done made me feel like I was lightheaded and about to pass out. So,
And me neither. Like this
or
never happened.
actually, probably what might at least lightheadedness. Closest I've gotten is realizing I'm not breathing during a set.
Sure, sure, yeah. And the reality is, I started feeling it coming on after set two, and I should have just not done set three. I should have been like, okay, let's take a break, move on to something else, maybe some cardio. I truly think if I didn't do it, set three, I would have been fine. But I decided to
Probably,
push
yeah,
myself.
yeah. But yeah, just keep an eye on it. If it happens again, you should go to the doctor.
I will do
Yes.
that.
um, but yeah, anyway, on to the fitness topic of the day, which is more about the mentalness of all of this because it is men's mental health awareness month, right?
Mhm.
That's what
Yes,
it is. Okay.
yes, right.
Um, so I like there's plenty of videos out there, and like you see it every year. Not this isn't the complaint about seeing the same thing over again because this is a good message to hear over and over again. That there's plenty of men out there that struggle.
Yeah,
We all know men out there that struggle, and every man struggles in different ways. Some just hold it in. Some shut themselves in. Some need companionship. So, Alex and I were going to talk because we've all had our ups and downs. Like, what's some of our mental hacks? I think is what you called it. For
men's mental health hacks.
yes, not that it's going to fix anything, if but at least to help get you through a tough time. So,
Yes,
you
100%.
why don't you begin? Give us your mental hack.
Of course, I mean, an easy one, obvious one, a layup really is go to the gym. So
Yep.
many reasons for it.
Yep.
Let's name a few. Number one, give you something to do. Right, a lot of men struggle with mental health when they feel like they lack purpose.
Yes.
Right, they feel kind of like they're floating. And I personally deal with that too. Like they're floating. Like, what am I doing here? I feel like a piece of garbage because I'm not achieving anything. Well, one way to focus that to focus in is go to the gym, right?
Right.
Because when you go to the gym and when you lift weights, it gives you a clear goal. Okay, I need to do this. I need to get stronger in this. I need to build muscle. Whatever your goal is at the gym, you can progress by going to the gym and lifting weights. So that helps. It also, it's not a scientific term, but quiets the voices in your head, right?
Yeah.
Because when you are lifting really heavy weight with good form close to failure, you can't be thinking about 1,000 other things.
No.
You have to focus on that lift. And then in between sets, you're recovering. So, I think it's really helpful with that. And on the scientific side of things, we do have research that shows that any exercise is really good for mental health.
Yeah. Increases the cortisol, endorphins. I forget what it is.
Endorphins, yeah,
Endorphins. Yeah.
endorphins. And some
Gets
research
the happy
shows,
juice moving.
like truly,
Yeah.
truly,
Like
some
the
research shows it's as good as mild to moderate medication,
oh
right?
yeah
Like
yeah
dose medication, which is crazy. And out of all exercise, resistance training was the best one.
yeah.
So it's
So
pretty cool.
because it can leave you exhausted enough that you're not stressing about certain things.
Yeah,
there's plenty of times too where it's just like, okay, yeah, I just deadlifted 485 for reps today. Guess what's not harder than that? Pretty much everything else you got going on.
Yeah, it's a good way to improve your confidence, right? A good way to improve self-worth for a lot of men. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of things that personally, like my clients working, most of my clients are men. That's what they mentioned. Like, I just feel more confident. I feel stronger. When you look fitter, it's more, you get more confident as well.
Yep.
So it is pretty cool.
Gotcha. No, it's a great
Go
one.
to the gym.
It's easy one. Go to the gym now. Pause this video, go to the gym, come back, like and subscribe, and comment what your session was.
Very good.
My mental hack, it's actually going to be music related.
Okay.
So, do I still have it up here? Boom, there we go. Taylor Swift at concert. Yeah, there we go. I got it in again. Love it. That's just a button away always. No, but it doesn't have to be Taylor Swift. I prefer pop music. Pop music just makes me feel happy. It uplifts my mood. Not in a superficial way. It just reminds me that there's good out there and keeps me going and motivated. Other people like hard rock or just, like all the different genres out there, or like EDM, just tune out. But finding a music that you can put on, not necessarily at the gym, just anytime that you can be like, cool, remind you that nothing's that bad, whether it's helping you get the bad energy out that's in you right now, or just making it getting washed away. Like I said, mine's pop to wash it away. I don't really need to get it out. I just need it, to just, I need to quiet it because it's a weaker voice in my head. But finding a music genre artist or something, or just exploring different things to go like, what helps uplift me and keep me in a stable mindset whenever I'm feeling a little bit more down.
Oh, it's interesting. I personally don't do that, but that's definitely a good hack. Especially a lot of pop is generally positive sounding, at least the way the tunes are.
Like I said, there's some pop artists and pop music out there that I don't like because the messaging's weird.
Sure.
But generally it's pretty good. So big suggestion. Like my work PC, I put Spotify on it, and sometimes I'm stressed out trying to crank through stuff, and I'll just put on one of my stations and then enjoy some music.
I love that. Good. All right, my next one would be, and this applies to both men and women, is to get off social media. Right? If you have a period, and truly, like if you have a period where you're struggling with mental health, it's not going to help is going on social media and comparing yourself to others and how much happier they pretend to be and live a much better quality of life than you, right? So that's why, like, even on my social media, like, nobody likes when somebody posts a post. It's like, oh, everything sucks, at least all the time, right?
I was about not. This isn't a call out to anyone specific because it does happen. I've been there too, and it is much more common than not. But I felt like there was a strong streak of people I know personally who are Warhammer folks that are also in the gym. Like, I didn't want to go to the gym today. I had a great gym session. I'm like, this is the fifth one. I'm tired of it, guys. Like, shut up.
Like, it's a good message to mention occasionally. But if that's the only thing you do,
well, no, it's not the only thing. But it's just like it was all of you at once.
Right.
I'm just like,
right.
Like, are you all okay? Like,
exactly. So I think there's a balance here, right? So same thing with my page. Like, if you look for my posts, occasionally you'll see like just me being transparent, like, hey, didn't go to the gym for a week and a half. Really didn't feel like it. Mental health was down, but we're back, right?
Right.
So I think those things are fine. But yeah, truly, if you actually care about improving mental health and improving your quality of life and not just wallowing in feeling bad about yourself, get off social media. Just do it. Just take a break, come back eventually.
Yeah, and I would say too, you have to always examine what your relationship is with social media. So like, Alex, yours is business that you generate your livelihood from there. So you have to treat it very differently. For me, like I posted like 3 days ago and posted anything since other than a few stories because I don't have anything to talk about.
Right.
And that's fine. That's how I treat my social media. But like, you have to understand what it is. And let's be honest out there too. Most of us out there, it's not a business.
No.
I'm not making money off social media. If I had a chance to turn on ads, I probably just wouldn't. Like, there's a reason why. I mean, we're not going to be monetized here, even when we get to 1,000 and all that stuff. Like, I just don't care. But knowing what social media is to you, for me, it's a way to stay connected to those people, even when all of them are posting their struggles in the gym. at the same time. No, I'm kidding. I love them all. But like I use it because I enjoy staying in contact with people, and then there's also accounts I follow that are like, oh, it's like this is a cool custom Game Boy. This is someone who I just like their art
Yeah.
or their miniature painting. It's just like, and I'll enjoy that. And, I don't like if you don't have, you can still use social media sometimes, but like don't feel like you have to participate.
Oh no, no. And especially if you notice that it is harmful for yourself, or maybe
Yes.
you don't notice, but you consistently struggle with mental health, take a break for a week, 2 weeks, see if it improves.
Oh yeah,
Worst
yeah,
case, you missed out on 2 weeks of people posting stuff. Big deal,
yeah.
right? So
And to
yeah,
be
take a
fair,
break.
it's you're not going to miss much. Let's be
You're not
honest.
gonna miss much. And also like the algorithm is literally built to keep you hooked on it.
Yeah.
And have you ever like felt good about spending 2 hours scrolling on social media?
So I enjoy the process of teaching my algorithm what I want
Sure,
and
sure,
reinforcing it greatly. Because everyone's
sure.
like, we're in the fitness space on social media.
Right, right, right.
Obviously different levels, but every once in a while, my social media, my Instagram's just like, hey, you want these half naked women in your feed, don't you? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm married. I'm happily married.
Not interested. Not
So
interested.
I
Not
will
interested.
spend 15, 20 minutes each day
Mhm.
focusing on like 3 to 4 things that I actually want to see.
Mhm.
And I
Okay.
will I will
That's good.
go to the explore page. I'll open and like, open and like, open and like, even if I'm not actually reading it, if like the
That's
picture
actually
looks
kind of
cool.
smart.
And
Hmm.
then usually after like usually sometimes even after a day, but 2 days, it goes back and just shows me what I want again.
Right.
And you can do
Yeah.
that with all social media.
And
Some are
15
more
minutes a
impressive than
day
others.
is really good, but you have to know yourself that you can actually spend 15 minutes a day doing it and not get stuck scrolling for hours.
Right. And like I said, it's there is. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I don't like brain rot because there's one particular right now that I'm absolutely enjoying. It's taking up more time than I like, but it's not harmful, so it's been okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys after we're done talking here what my current brain rot is that
Okay.
I like. I was like, this is so entertaining. I want to watch all of these.
Okay. That's funny.
You will
Huh.
not get. No one's gonna
I
guess
will
it.
not get that. Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, what's your next hack for mental health for men?
My next hack actually is going to be have dedicated time for yourself. Like I said,
Okay.
and that could be the gym, as we've talked before. It doesn't have to be. It could be hobby time. It can be you wake up an extra hour before everyone else in your family wakes up, and you just sit on the back porch with a cup of coffee. I think the hardest thing and the best thing when I'm not feeling great is having honest conversations with myself.
Hmm.
Like, because like you know what you're screwing up. Sometimes you have to have that internal monologue with yourself, like, hey, bro, this is what's going on.
Right.
This is how you can fix it. Stop being dumb. You can fix it. And then usually that comes in the form of some sort of action to figure out how to get out of my funk. Or sometimes it just wakes me up like, oh yeah, I was just being dumb. I was overthinking this.
Hmm.
That said, I want to say that hack is from someone who doesn't suffer from any sort of chronic depression. I'm a genuinely
Sure.
happy person. I'm very fairly even killed on a lot of things outside of getting stressed out sometimes at work. But um, you know, that works for me because I don't have I, I don't have probably over aggressive demons in my head yelling at me that I'm terrible and all that sort of stuff. They're just something in my voice will get mad at me whenever I'm doing something wrong, even if I don't
Sure.
realize it or don't want to realize it.
Sure. Sure. No, yeah, quiet time, intentional quiet time is pretty helpful because I think we are surrounded by so much noise
Yeah,
just in our Western culture, right? Which is a great thing. We get a lot of things done
yeah.
and we're staying entertained at all points in time, but sometimes just having that quiet time. I really like that you go on walks very often,
Yes, the
right?
yeah,
That's you,
wife will go on walks. Yep.
which is a great, you don't even have to talk. You can just enjoy quiet time or go on a walk,
I guess we
right?
can check it off as touch grass. Like nature is
There we go.
healing.
Touch
Nature
grass.
that's
There we go.
nature is
Yeah.
healing for everybody. Like
Go outside. Yeah, sure, sure.
yeah,
Yeah, one of the best ways to spend time, quiet time, is to be outside.
yeah,
All right, my next time would be to spend time with others, right? It could be friends, family, whoever it is, but people who care about you, who love you, basically. Now, the last thing you will want to do when you're feeling down on yourself, when you're having depressive episodes or anxious episodes, is to be with others, right?
right. It's hard.
So you will not want to do that. So what I recommend is, and that's coming from experience, is creating habits, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, where you attend and you create a routine of attending.
Hmm.
So even when you don't feel like it, you show up. And I'm not always good at doing that,
Yeah, I know.
right?
I yell at you.
Yeah, Chuck here yelled at me for not showing up to a club night, hobby night, and the reality is I did not show up because I actually was not feeling well. So there we go.
Right,
Me
right.
living
That was the same night you did the split squat, so fair. Yeah.
exactly. So have habit, but at the same time, then on Thursday, I meet with a friend every morning before his work day, and that's one of his few getaways, like because
Hmm.
he's a kid. So I'm like, okay, I really should shop for him even,
Right.
right? So yeah, create habits when you are in a healthy space and then continue doing them, or do your best to continue doing them when you do have those low spaces.
Yeah, no, I love that with the routine too, because there's been plenty of times where I'm, not feeling great mentally, but it's Wednesday night, that's club night, and I
Yep.
go. And I guess was kind of lead into like my next one, and have that support structure. Like
Yeah.
I'm very thankful. I have a rather large support structure, like family, my obviously my wife, and then friends, like my friends at the barn at the club night that I can talk to. Like I remember telling a couple of the guys at the barn, like guys, I'm depressed right now. Like I'm feeling really depressed, and I don't know why. I
Hmm.
get stressed out, and just saying that helped.
Yeah.
They weren't giving me answers or anything. They're just like, "Do you need anything?" I'm like, no, I just needed to say that. And I'm like, okay, just and then hanging out. That's it. So like
Yep.
have that support structure, and hopefully you can find it. And like I said, and maybe that support structure, if it doesn't exist naturally, that's where like maybe you want to seek out some therapy options or things like that too.
Yeah. That'll be the well. Did you say another one? I don't know if you did.
It was being able to openly talk with a support structure.
Yeah, good. And that's where my next one would be therapy,
Okay.
right? And sometimes even you have support, but you don't have answers. Like they don't provide you with answers what to do. Therapy can be helpful.
Yeah.
Now, I think one thing I will say is good therapists are awesome, but because it is a professional industry, there are people who are not going to be good therapists.
Right.
So if a therapist is not working for you and you've been working with them for a long time and you're not moving at least slowly towards a goal of getting out of therapy, right? Because the goal of therapy should be for most people should be to get out of therapy,
Right.
right? Even if it takes you 5 years.
Without medication. I'm gonna say that. Do your
Yes.
best in every situation to avoid medication, because that stuff is
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
Having seen loved
I'm
ones having to use it for a little bit and saw them get off of it, no,
yeah.
I'm very much against antidepressants.
I'm
They
honestly
seem to
not
screw you up
familiar.
more.
I'm not familiar enough to talk on antidepressants, so I'll just say I don't know.
Yeah,
I never considered taking them personally. I
I
don't know
don't know
really.
the medical like how they work, other than it seems to mess
Right.
up your brain and sometimes it makes things worse.
Right.
So be very
Right.
cautious about that, I guess,
Be
and
at least very cautious.
talk to multiple doctors about that stuff before you just take
Right.
it.
Right. But therapy, remember the goal of therapy should be to get out of therapy,
Mhm.
regardless how long it takes you, to make progress. You're not just going there to talk to somebody, you're going there to work on your issues and improve.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I say, like, to like, go back to my medication. I was saying never take medication, because medication is a useful tool out there and we all need it for lots of many things.
Uh,
Um, I would say be cautious if you go into any situation and they try to give you medication immediately.
as the first solution, that should never be
It's
the
not a
case.
first solution. That should be one of the end solutions,
Yeah.
honestly, because you can do it. You guys can get there.
Yeah. Do you have any more? Because I have one more, like
I
half one.
I have one more. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have to go too deep on it, but find and this is a maybe. I don't think this one is a necessity. It's helped me, but find a philosophy that helps
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it's stoicism. I'm not the best stoic in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but reminding myself that things I'm creating in my head are worse than what actually they are. Like Marcus
Mhm.
Aurelius, Meditations is a great one. Um, Daily Stoic is a great little mini podcast you can listen to daily for like little things like that. But Stoicism, I found a lot of I don't want to say comfort, but I found a lot of um, I don't know the word how to say it.
Structure,
I guess
mentality. I don't know.
like, yeah, mentality maybe, but it's not answers, but it just makes me realize that I don't always need to have an answer in some situations,
Mm, mm.
and sometimes you're probably just overthinking this a little bit,
Sure.
and like
Oh, it's
and the
100%.
reminders like
100% the issue. It's
like
never like I'm depressed because I don't think enough, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
never
yeah,
that.
like like in things like be harsher on yourself than you are on others.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I'm harsher.
For
Like
sure.
I'll treat my paint. I'll hate my paint jobs left and right. But I don't care anybody else paints a model. That's the best fucking model I've ever seen. Every
That's
time.
hilarious. That's awesome. That's great. Unless it's me, and then you don't vote for me.
Well, paint better.
Okay, fair.
I you paint
um,
exceptionally well. I just like the Stormcast better. I'm sorry.
all right. I will say to that point, yeah, I'm a Christian, so yeah, having a faith often helps,
Yeah,
right? They
there you
do
go.
found that people who have a faith, and I'm biased towards Christianity, but any faith typically gives you a purpose outside yourself, right? So you're not the center of the universe, which can be very positive
Yes.
because then you don't overthink as much. All right, and my last one I would say is supplements. And the reason I say that,
Okay.
here's how I justify it. If you are severely deficient in a few key vitamins, you literally will just be depressed because your body does not produce enough of those,
That's interesting.
right?
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
Vitamin D,
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
like simple as that, right?
Which is
Like you give
outside, go
somebody
get sunshine. Yeah.
do that, or just take a supplement. Because
Well,
if we're honest,
in wintertime or certain parts of the world, you kind of have to take a supplement. Yeah.
right. And the thing is, the vitamin D supplement, you should still go outside, right? But it's so easy, and so many people are deficient, and the toxicity level of vitamin D is so high that's like, just take it.
Yeah.
Just take it year round, right? And I came around on that. I used to be like, hey, just go outside because it's so good for you. And it is super good for you. And you should still do it for our mental health and other reasons. But truly, vitamin D3, 3,000 I use, 4,000 I use every day. The toxic levels, I think, is like 40,000 I use. So
Oh
you're not going
wow.
to get anywhere close to that
Gotcha.
level. It's just, you're going to get more than you technically need some days when you do get
Right,
the
but it
sun.
just becomes
It's not going
waste
to
out
harm you.
leaving the body. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I would highly recommend it. If you're deficient, very deficient in iron, and more for women tend to be, right?
Yeah.
That
Well,
could be
I
a good
mean, the
one.
thing is, or if you're maybe if you're vegan or vegetarian, iron might be
Yeah.
harder in your diet too. Just
Yeah. Yeah. If you have, I mean, and then after that, if you exhausted those options, check your hormones, right? Check your testosterone. Is your testosterone low? If your
oh yeah.
testosterone is low as a man, you will feel bad. And then you have to go on, you can try natural remedies first. And if it doesn't work, go on T,
Well,
hormone
and
replacement therapy.
sometimes even going to the gym helps increase your
Oh, for
testosterone.
sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm
it's
saying. Like,
yeah.
hey, work on your sleep, work on your, how much blood you're getting exposed to, strength train, improve your diet. But if after all that for 3, 6 months your T is still low, it just might be a hormonal genetic thing,
Yeah.
right?
And that's go have a conversation with your family doctor on that for sure.
Exactly. So sometimes you could be doing everything right, but you just happen to be deficient in something,
Yeah.
and that's why you're feeling low. So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. There you go. Good. Well, if you are struggling, I know there's plenty of helplines out there, and everyone has friends. So um, I'll try and link. I think our biggest audience is U.S. and U.K.
Okay.
Maybe Canada. So I'll try and find those links to maybe some of those helplines and add them below if I can find them. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure because sometimes if I'm typing it in, it might just give me the U.S. one. So if you don't
Sure.
see them down
Sure.
below, please search at Google and find it for yourself if you need it.
Good. Good. And the most important thing is stay plugged in, right? Talk to people about it. It's not a comfortable conversation, but I promise you nobody's going to be like, "Ha, you're stupid." No,
But
like
yeah,
people are
but
going to
also at the same time,
love it.
stay unplugged. Like get off social media and the news.
Right. Yes, so do both. Do both.
Talk to real people. Don't talk to
Talk to real people. 100% talk to
All
real
right.
people.
Well, do you want to take a shot now that we're at the end? What the brain rot I enjoy is because like I say, it's newer, and I was like,
Okay, so
it's
it's
so
not
funny.
something I would know. It's not something I would know about you.
No, no.
It is something related to making coffee.
It is not.
Dang
But
it.
so AI is a big useful tool out there now,
Okay.
and there's AI generated videos,
Okay.
which cautionary tale. You gotta be very aware of what's real and what's fake, and it's getting harder and harder each
Sure.
time.
Sure.
Um, the reason I like this because it's obviously fake, but in the scope it looks very real because of the AI, and it
Mhm.
is just hilarious. So it is these Bigfoot vlogs. So it's Bigfoot with like a selfie stick
Yeah, yeah.
vlogging if he was like one of those like asshole YouTube vloggers,
Right, right,
like
right.
just like doing drugs and drinking alcohol and just like it is remarkably funny and it hurts no one
It's not one,
because
yeah.
none of it is real and it's just talking about that sort of stuff
Yeah.
and it's just funny and they're short and I don't know I'm like he I'm like, I just enjoy it. I don't know why.
I've seen a couple of those, and they are pretty funny. They are pretty hilarious.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where I'm like, I didn't know that's something my brain would enjoy, but I
That's
am.
AI used well, right? I mean,
Yes.
some people hate on everything. Any use of AI is bad. And I'm like, no, no, no.
No,
If
no,
you're
no.
not trying to steal art, you're not trying to, pretend to be an AI artist, and you just do funny things like that, or maybe creative things like that, go for it.
Yeah, I hope whoever's doing that, putting in the work, is getting good ad revenue or whatever, because it is
There we go.
hilarious.
It is very funny. Why not?
Yes. So there you go. Check out the Bigfoot and Yeti vlog things that are on social media hidden
That's so
randomly.
silly. That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. What's like thing is like I'm not gonna share it out because I'm just like I don't know if everyone's gonna appreciate this humor, but
That is not what I expected. That is great.
yeah, I didn't think it'd be something I'd be like. I watched like one. I was like, oh, that's cool. Then like the algorithm's like, hey, you saw one. You watched the whole way through.
You, you seem to like it. All right.
Here's another one. I'm like,
Give you
yeah,
more.
okay, all right, yeah, I like this.
I have seen somebody do that sort of format. I don't think they got big yet, but with Warhammer Space Marines.
Okay, there's been other ones that have popped up. Like I think selfie of like clone troopers attacking something. Like
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I scroll past those quick. Like no, I just want to see the Yeti ones. Those are
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
but I don't
I
want to
feel
get.
neutral. I feel neutral about them. People are like, "Oh, I don't use AI." I'm like, whatever. Just people
Oh
are
no, I
gonna.
don't. Yeah, I don't
Who's
really.
it harming? Just they're making. I don't know. People are silly sometimes.
Well, there's bad use for AI that has popped
Oh, for
up that I've
sure,
seen that
for
yeah
sure, for sure.
you should not use AI for, and if you're using it for that, you know who you are and stop it. Alex is gonna come beat you up. Hit you with a
I
Bible.
probably
Stop
won't.
it.
I probably won't. I'll be like, "Hey, don't do it.
Hey, I
It's
don't.
not nice."
Yeah, but all right. Well, with that, I will throw it to my past, to myself and Neil, and we will catch you guys in the next episode. And actually, I should say, small chance next week there isn't a podcast. I forgot to mention it there.
Wow,
Yes.
wow.
Well, it depends on how we can record because I will be away next week at a retro game event weekend.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, so
Okay.
little mini vacation. So if I can't get the recording done, we'll skip a week. But check social media. I'll put out there what it is. So
Find out next week.
exactly, or don't. You know.
Or don't find out. I guess, yeah. Don't find out next week.
And remember how I said I spilt coffee, or not coffee Lacroix? Well, now the mouse is freaking out, so I'm trying to get it so I can stop this recording. Keep filling time, Alex, fill time.
Check out my bicep. It's so huge. Look at that. Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
attacking me. It's attacking me. Ah. Ah.
oh boy, this mouse.
Okay. Still
Yeah,
going?
yeah, keep
Let
going.
me
It's
get,
still going.
get the
Technic-
tricep out there. There you go.
oh yeah.
There we go. People think I'm actually work out. Check this out. Yeah.
All right, bye everybody, and welcome back. Strength Hammer Podcast, episode 141. The momentous day we have, Neil. Are you ready for this?
You better have put a little intro in on this episode with some Beastie Boys music.
Ooh, I'm glad I edit after, and I'm not sure. I wonder if Beastie Boys is. I wonder if they have any copyright-free stuff. Not that we make money off this, but yeah.
They seem like they probably like money, so let's go ahead.
I could see them going both ways. You know what I mean?
Should we just sing some Beastie Boys right now? No, I'm kidding. We're not going to.
Oh, no one wants that. No, it's full clarity, everybody. It's 6:45 in the morning, and me and Neil did not get as much sleep as we would have preferred.
No.
So
too much Total War, too late into the night.
Too much carousing, like the Beastmen Brayherds, drinking late into. No, I was in bed by 11. I only had like 2 beers last night, so but still old. That's why there's no old Beastmen. They can't keep up.
There are young Beastmen. There are what do they say? The old Beastmen. There's bold Beastmen, but there are no old bold Beastmen.
Yes, that's the rule of thumb. But yeah, before we get into that sort of stuff, episode 141, that feels amazing. And sure, I wish we were over 1,000 followers by now, but we're not, and that's fine because I also don't really put this podcast out anywhere other than my own channels, so partially my fault. However, I'm most excited for the fact that we have a complete old world game right now, from what they set out on the tin.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But Grand Cathay looks close too.
Mm-hmm. and with it, hopefully, many changes, which I'm even more excited about.
Yep, match play booking coming too. I'm excited for that. But before we discuss anything, like these Grand Cafe articles, not in much detail, we'll just peruse them. But Neil, have to ask the obvious question: how is your lawn?
I had an opportunity a couple days ago to mow it. Didn't. Came home. I've got new patio furniture that I finished. I think I sent you a picture of that little video of it. And I came home one day, early-ish from work, and got my kids home from their camps. I walked back there. I laid down on that patio furniture with my pillow from my bed and just take a nap instead of mow the lawn. Because I also am old, and that was delicious is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, the video you sent me of your view from that lounge chair, I assume, looked heavenly.
Yeah.
So I would have probably done the same. However, I don't have new patio furniture. I have old patio furniture I need to replace. So I cut my lawn. Actually, I did a lot of we've had less rain. Of course, it's the weekend now, so it's going to rain some more. But mowed the lawn, felt good. Even did a little bit of gardening to get that kind of cleaned up. It's not the best. I could do more, but it's like make it look a little nicer. And then yesterday, I went out and I trimmed all the shrubs and all the trees, like all those like low hanging branches or hanging off in the wrong spot where I don't want them to grow. Kind of went to town, so I'm pretty done up over here as far as the yard's concerned.
Nice.
Yeah, whoops, that's the wrong one. What I hit? There we go. That's the one I wanted. Drop the light a little bit. It's bright. Yeah, good lawn. Good lawn. I'm happy for it. And I'll tell you what, next. Before we do the news, we gotta do. I love this model you painted here. Let's go into our hobby time.
Oh yeah.
So bam, this not Bretonian. This is an elf mage on unicorn, Stormweaver, right?
That's right. Her hair is fallen down, like she's wearing it long. You can't tell that those ears are pointy or not. You've got no idea, right?
Nope.
So in my mind, they're pointy.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I really took some time on this one, and I can't even say that I did. This one almost painted itself. I'm just super happy with the way it turned out.
I like the slight contrast between like the mane and the other, I guess, hair of the horse.
Yeah,
like it's just
I
subtle,
want to try and
nice.
go like as it's a unicorn, right? So as pure as possible. I want to try and keep the whole thing, white-ish. But like you have to get some contrast in there if you're going to do that. I'm still no pro at painting white. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of contrast white on that horse. Actually,
apothecary white, yeah.
Yeah, and then also like some Nuln Oil over top of the mane and everything, just to darken it down just that little bit. Nuln Oil on the tail, wherever you see that, just to kind of differentiate those spots a little bit. So that works pretty well for me. So
yeah, no, it's turned out great. And yeah, you got your Stormweaver, so we each have one. Technically, you have the 3D print. I have the kit bash. Eventually, my pre-order one will come. I don't know when.
And you may want to at some point. Who knows?
Exactly.
If there's some changes that we hope are coming, and that level 3 wizard just gets a lot better.
Yeah. The level 3 looks to be the good spot coming up. Hopefully,
and even playing a level 1 or 2 might be useful. So
whoa, calm down now.
I know. Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah. You don't want to get us too excited here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my hobby been a flurry of activity. So finished up the remainder of my kit bashed custom Kingdoms of Valyrian Army of Infamy models. Neil yelled at me because my background is my painting desk.
I'm just trying to up your game. I'm trying to help you out here.
I know. It's so funny. I went outside and took pictures, and it was too bright too early, and like all the pictures were like blown out. So I was like, I just did it in the desk. I could have waited and just done it later, but on my little garden outside picture spot. But was so eager to get these shown off. So
What I have recently done, I don't know if you see my pictures, that I've thrown out there on Facebook and everything, but also I cut the bottom of my light box out. I took a pair of scissors, cut it out, sat it on top of my mat, so that it actually looks like a playing surface, or like a mat to kind of help out just the surrounding view of it, so it's not just black,
Right.
Because I don't really know how. Like we've got a buddy Mike Keel who knows how to do like these black images that just makes just the model pop. But my thinking is not good enough to just look at just the model. Right? I need other things in there, right? To kind of spruce up the area. So we got the playing mat underneath there, and I just built up some terrain around it too, just kind of make it look a little more table-esque. So.
Yeah, yours are very action shotty for sure.
Yeah. So also I did a merworm. Merworm. God damn it! I'm gonna have to figure out how to say that. I have no idea.
Can you try and send me a picture in the chat? I'll try and bring it up as I walk through mine.
Yes, I can do that.
All right. Yeah, you did forget to send me that one, but you did paint that one up. Yeah. So here is a princess of Illyrian on her steed, so kind of a lord noble, one of those betweener type characters for my army. Next is technically a handmaiden of the Everqueen on Illyrian Reaver, because in my army, Illyrian is Avalorn is one of the things you can bring in, so Sisters of Avalorn, and I allow you to put a handmaiden on a horse, even though doesn't make any sense. Because you can't put anything else. You can't put the Sisters of Avalorn on horses. Just her. But I thought it was neat, and I had an extra Illyrian Reaver, so we kit bashed that up.
Yeah, why not? Why can't she be on a horse, right?
Yeah, why not? It's cool. Like, I like it.
I always wonder about that myself. Like, why can't we put this chick on a horse? Like, what's she got against horses?
Yeah. Although I could see putting here's Bo the Seafarer lady. You are running all the way to the right, all the way up the line with like.
Oh yes, please.
And then just bolt through her.
Yeah, I don't see why that's a problem. I don't know.
I don't know either. I like it. Then we have 8 essentially Illyrian Knights. Not heavy kit bash on these. I just kind of gave them like White Lion type heads that weren't bestial, that just look like heavier helmets on the new Illyrian Reaver kit, because most of my Illyrian Reavers are the old ones, and these are slightly bigger, ever so slightly, like the absolute tiniest bit bigger as far as the horse goes. The guys on top are fine. So it's like, okay, kit bash a weapon here or there, but they stand out, and it's like they're heavy cavalry in my little custom army, so have those there. And then some Pegasus Knights, unit of 3, because Illyrian loves their Pegasus. Why wouldn't they have Pegasus? Shout out to my buddy Tom, who gave me the idea for this. And
that's great.
Yeah, and also he's the one that made me then spend money buying a Bretonnian Pegasus kit. Just for the wings, and then a Silverhelm kit just for the horses. So I did paint up most of the other horses too, but I have some left over just for some future kit bashes and things.
But they look good though, so
yeah, I was real pleased with how they came out. And then some Arcane frogs. My frogs arrived, and yeah, I mean it's so I wonder what these were from, because one's clearly a Nurgle frog and one's clearly a Tzeentch frog.
Is that right?
Yeah, like the one on my screen here, the green, like it has maggots coming out of its mouth, has like open sores, and like parts of its body, like where like guts are kind of coming out, like a great green one.
I never looked at them that closely, huh?
Yeah. Okay. And then the blue one I have, which you can see, that's why I did the colors that way. Like made him like a blue dart frog, but 3 eyes, standing over like a Tzeentchian staff. It's like, okay.
Or maybe he was a Tzeentch sorcerer. Maybe this was a Nurgle sorcerer.
That's true.
So demons confirmed.
Ooh, there we go. I like it. I like it. Do you have a picture for me on this? There you
go. I do. It's in the chat.
Let me get that up before I talk about my last thing here.
For any of you that have a 12-year-old daughter, that's how you have to respond to everything. Is you have to say, "Chat, really?"
Come on, chat. What are you doing?
Come on, chat.
Look at this lovely merworm. He's a happy boy.
I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I'm
Yeah.
really actually happy with the sculpt. And it was never intended to be this way, but it's actually crawling down something just like like the actual Merwyrm is.
Yeah.
So it's as a proxy, it's a pretty close thing. I mean, it doesn't obviously look like the Merwyrm, the official one, but I like it. Dare I say better? But you know,
No, I think the thing I enjoy most about it is I like that it has the sort of the lizardman type armor on it,
mhm.
because it kind of, I don't know, it just brings a connection to the lizardmen who taught the high elves, so maybe they taught them how to bind these quote unquote dragons to their service.
Yeah, that's kind of my thinking is like, how do they actually get these things to do what they want them to do? As I'm building this and painting this thing, and that's why I got the eyes. If you see there, like all just black.
Yeah, just
Kind of
almost like,
painted, kind of like they've kind of they don't really have a will of their own at this point. I don't think they're like a dragon. Like they're just talking to these boys like, hey, yeah, go attack that. You're with me now. I don't get that feeling from the Merwyrm from the actual GW one. So I feel like there's a little more coercion that goes into this than
yeah,
than maybe what is normal for a high elf
yeah,
beast. So
just point and hope a little bit there.
right. Yeah.
Let's see, and I got a game in yesterday. Not well. It's Warhammer adjacent, so we're gonna count it. So, me and my buddy Dom have been trying to get a game in on this for a while. It's a game called Valor and Fortitude. Now, it is a Napoleonic's army game, but
Nobody's perfect.
it was written by Jervis Johnson, so therefore it's pretty much a Warhammer game. So there's a little lineup there. He won. The British took the victory on that, but I know the French lost. It was weird, but
well, in that case, then that's fine.
like, what's fascinating about it is it's a 4-page rule set. We've been there.
Is it really?
It's a 4-page rule set, and we didn't know what to expect because there's random cards you draw for fates and stuff like that. Like just from a card deck, D6s. It's pretty simple. It's probably the most simplified version of, like, I've played a different simplified Napoleonics game, but like that's you expect that game to be crunchy and like detailed and like pretty deep. Like that's the thought process usually. This was easier than the first edition of Age of Sigmar.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and it was fascinating. There's things on it where I'm like, this is really cool, really clean, like it. And there's other parts where I'm like, I don't really like this. But if I'm an old man that wants to get a Napoleonics game in without like you want a beer and pretzels game, this was a beer and pretzels game to a T.
Nice.
Like,
Nice.
oh hey, I lost the combat by 2. I will roll 2 dice now. If either one of these is a 1 or a 3, that unit is just running away forever.
Oh, wow.
So it's like pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like that part too much, but also like, yeah, I could see how you get like a little mini campaign going on with the buddies and you can really play through that. So Jervis Johnson, Valor and Fortitude, fun little Napoleonics game. Very simple. Like I said, things I like, things I don't, but hey, I enjoyed it. All right, so let's do a little news before we talk about our Beastie Boys. Nope, not that one. There it is. So we've had 2 Old World Almanacs come out for Grand Cathay. And let me tell you, when they start putting out Old World Almanacs, I assume that means pre-orders are sooner rather than later.
Oh, sure. It's coming. It's coming quick. Yeah.
I'm wondering. It's Saturday for us as recording. I'm wondering if Sunday and then yesterday for those time you listen to this. I wonder if they're going to announce it for the following week pre-orders.
Yeah.
And
I'm not even going to venture a guess because I have to come in here and I have to eat crow. I said end of the year. And I am very, very wrong. I apologize to the internets for my wrongness.
I wish you were right because I'm about to do vacations and stuff, and I don't know if I have the budget to buy a new Warhammer army right now, so I might have to buy the book and sit on the sidelines a bit.
Well, today I have to. One of the things I got to do is get you guys some money back from our Airbnb since some people overpaid. So you got that coming your way.
Oh boy! Oh hey, I mean that'll help a little bit, a little gas money, a little food money. I like it. But yeah, it's It is kind of it's not bittersweet. Like I'm doing things I love with the wife. So, like we're going to like retro game events. We're gonna go to the beach and just things like that. So I can't be upset about not being Grand Catholic. 'Cause I'm gonna have a ton of fun this summer.
Right.
But also, hey, maybe because we don't know what the prices are. Maybe the prices will be reasonable, and I can get like 1,000 points going. Because I'm really well. I have 5 models left to clear my deck for Grand Cathay. I'm still using that as a deadline.
Yeah.
Which means I could have no hobby to do.
Here's the thing. I'm not a FOMO guy. If you wanted to go buy a Lumineth Realm Lords army right now, could you do it?
Like financially or just in...
Just if you wanted it right
oh
now.
yeah, I could go buy it right now.
Yeah. So will Grand Cathay. There's no way they're going to underproduce this army.
Yeah.
No. So it'll be there.
It'll be there when I get to. You're 100% right. Like I said, I'm not. I'm usually good at. I can resist those FOMO boxes. What hurts more is the fact that this is outside the high elves. This is the most excited I've been for any army in a long time.
Sure, as you should be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a counter argument to what I just said though is Lady Elise Duchard is still not available. So
I believe they've gone through everything and they said everything coming out for Grand Cathay is plastic, which means easier to produce, and they'll probably produce a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll buy the book. I'll buy the cards as usual. Do our coverage here on the podcast. If I can buy some models, I will. We'll see. We'll see what the budget allows. But anyway, we have some news. Old World Almanac. So first one here is just building this Let's Do Army of Grand Cathay. Just talks about designer notes. Did you read through this article?
I have not. I've heard about it. Is this the one where they're talking about how they came up with the design and all that?
Yeah, exactly. And they talked a lot about working with Creative Assembly and the Total War team. Yeah, and like how like that team said we want to tackle Grand Cathay, so they worked together to kind of flesh out what that would finally look like. And then GW's like, hey, that'd be a pretty good army. I'm like, yeah, it would be.
Right. Yeah. One thing that we'll get to this, I guess, a little bit later. But they sat on this quite a while, which is interesting to me. So, but
yeah, like it's just been there, and I'm happy that Old World took off and it's doing as well as it has been, because if it kind of like came out and went meh, we may never have seen these models.
Yeah. And by the way, if this is any indication, that Kaislib is definitely sitting in their basement right now too. So
oh yeah, and it looks phenomenal. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like this because they're giving credit where credit's due, which GW's like yeah, Creative Assembly did a lot of the heavy lifting. We kind of just used it and then we tweaked it and we helped them along the way, and it's just like that's just hey, that's what a partnership's supposed to be. Yeah, and they're kind of going back in the history of like where they found different stuff on it, but most extensive thing written about Grand Cathay was Tamarkon, the Throne of Chaos, things like that. Concepts limited by wireframes, can't show flowing robes, but you can read this yourself, everybody. Let's we don't have to go hit by hit on this one, but I do like this part here though. Where Grand Cathay was inspired from, because we're all like, oh, it's China, obviously, but no, it's Chinese mythology. Empire has Bretonnian real-world influences from the Holy Roman Empire, medieval. Cathay takes it from several celebrated Chinese dynasties and made it into her own. So, like, it's kind of like the culmination of, I think, all of ancient Chinese references possible, and they just mixed it into a fantasy setting as opposed to just going with one, like the Holy Roman Empire, like, which I guess is big too, but still. Yeah. Like I said, this was a great read. Yep.
What I gleaned from this article, basically, they're talking about how their design studio worked with Creative Assembly to put out what these units were going to look like, right? So they worked hand in hand. So if you want to know what the Kaislib army is going to look like, it's going to look very similar to what you're seeing in Total War right now. So if you want elemental bears, you're getting elemental bears. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody go out and buy this army so we can get elemental bears.
Yes, 100%. Also, it mentions here how they worked with a Chinese team just to make sure that they didn't like screw anything up. That would be like, you remember? Hey, Neil, you remember? Maybe a couple years ago, GW might have released a Necromunda model that might have had a giant white pointed hood on it, and everyone's like, "Whoa, maybe."
I don't pay attention to the 40Ks too much, but that's hilarious to me because
He may have also had a noose around his neck, and I'm just like,
No, stop it.
Like,
oh my
it's
God.
like not hanging from it, but like hanging down from it, like almost like it's a tie.
Oh
The
my
creative team over there, and they pulled it and they changed the head, and we're all just like, that came out. We're all like, hey,
Yeah.
and the it's like some things like you have to play in history a little bit, but also there's things where you don't want to go too far over the line, and if you don't, and let's be honest, like I studied Chinese as a language in college for a couple years. I don't understand the culture like barely. Like I just appreciate it. So, when doing something like this, it's probably a good thing that they did that.
It's pretty funny though to me though at the same time because like the area where of Mexico is just lizardmen, right? So it's just like,
Yeah.
how do you like
it's
like China, we're gonna go with humans here, but Mexico, you guys get to be lizards.
You get to be lizards.
It's like, and I get it's Mayans and everything like that, and Aztecs, right? Like I get that that's what they're referencing and everything. Just like how do they choose, right? How do the Norse end up as mutated Vikings? Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, I mean it was a fever dream full of alcohol and drugs back in this punk days of GW, and now they're working it out and it works out okay.
I just I don't know. Like maybe we should stay away from white hoods and nooses, right? But there's probably some middle ground where we don't have to be like, too crazy about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like there's clearly things
a fantasy realm.
Yeah, clearly things you don't want to go into, but also like you can have fun. Like, come on, we can all have laughs sometimes, but like there's lines. So
right, yeah, sure.
And that line varies from person to person sometimes, but like there's some obvious lines you just kind of stop at. But
I'm glad they did get a team together to make sure they found those lines.
Also too, because it allowed them to also make sure like, hey, you're missing this. This is a pretty cool thing that would fit in here too. It's like, oh yeah, let's add this in. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, this was a good article. Let's just scroll down here at the bottom real quick. Okay, yeah, and they talked about the lore of the dragons and all that. So let's get to the next article real quick. Diving in here. A short history of Grand Cathay. Now, the reason I'm not I would love to just read this one here, but the reason I'm not this is well worth it because they compiled everything for us to kind of throw it in a very loose style of their history. The reason we're not going through it is because probably have to figure it out sooner rather than later, but I have a bunch of material on my desktop here and some other videos and things. I want to do a whole episode on the lore of Grand Cathay together because one, I'm excited for it. Two, I feel it'd be a great resource for our listeners out there that care about this stuff.
Outside of playing a couple of factions in Total War, I don't know too much about it myself. So
yeah, it's I mean that's the thing. Like I'm gonna have to dive in on Total War because there's probably pieces in there that you don't know unless maybe a little nuanced things. So I'll be playing some more Total War soon.
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see what they're almost going to have to retcon stuff, or kind of massage some parts of the story to include Grand Cathay that we haven't, because a lot of things were happening. Everything seems to have happened over in the old world, right? But that clearly can't be the case. So it'll be interesting to see where they fit them in.
Exactly. We have a nice high-res version of this Empire of Grand Cathay map in here. The other thing too about just this history one, the artwork. I've linked him before, the guy who does this artwork for GW, but my God, this Emperor picture, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like talk about like hitting the Chinese art style for their history. I don't know what it's called. But making it look just so Warhammer.
They clearly have done better, Grand Cathay, than the race of men that the game is modeled after.
Yes.
They've had some wins in a few places.
And there's our new dragon lady. I forget her name. I'm drawing a blank this early, but there's a picture here. I was talking to Martin Orlando, friend of the show, about this right here. That the woman in front of like the dragon that she rides, that new model coming out, like she's just standing there with like her spear over her shoulder, her gun in her hand in front of her dragon, and like this is the most Warhammer picture I have seen in a long time.
Good, I love that.
Yeah, it's just Warhammer. Like battle's over, she's screwed stuff up. I love it.
Longmaw, I believe is the name of it, right?
Gotcha. Yes, you're probably right.
Came to me.
Yeah, like this is almost my phone background. Hasn't quite got there yet, but this close. I'm like, But also too, I'm trying to resist buying the army potentially right away, so don't want to keep tempting myself and make financial mistakes.
Sure.
And there was notice in here too, kind of mixed in, that they talk about. I might have been it's the other article, but they talk about the fact that there will be a second Arcane journal for Grand Cathay.
Interesting. Yes. I love that.
Yeah. Now
so that's great. So that means more stuff is coming out probably for all these factions. I just when is the question. Yeah. Never mad about new stuff for anything, but there's some other things I'd like to see happen first. But I desist.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't know if that means there's going to be new units they'll add in, because there's still some units in Total War that they haven't brought over that they might have. Might just be expanded factions, maybe like a new character or something here or there.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is a specially designed studio. They could be like, it's coming out in 3 weeks, or it's coming out in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And like I was wrong about the release date for this, here's to hoping I'm also wrong about the price. So
yes, let's hope the price is reasonable. And the other thing too, they did say that they're going to come out with, which I think clues into maybe pre-orders are going to come in the next week or so, because they talk about we're going to talk about the rules like next week or something. I think it's in one of the articles. I'm like, okay, you usually don't talk about rules until you're about to release it, or until it's on pre-order.
Yeah.
Which would be fun. Now, here's the thing too. Also, once again, all the influencers out there have just like got it and leaked all these pictures of that battalion box. It's probably a good thing they haven't sent those people the PDF yet. Otherwise, we know how this whole army would work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder if they're going to slow drip this too. And I don't mean slow drip like a long way out, but like maybe a couple weeks and into July, and then you'll get your pre-orders in July kind of thing. But
I'm kind of curious, because they could do like, here's the battalion box, here's the dice and cards and book, and then it's like, okay, here's the heroes after that or something. Like I could see it. July is their fiscal year.
Another big month, yeah.
Yeah, but they also have Horus Heresy releasing, I would assume sometime in July. So, but also, to be fair, I don't know how much those two games are competing against each other in the grand scope of the marketplace. Like the GHB is going to be out in our hands in like I guess in a week. I don't know, whenever pre-orders hit us. But there's no big Sigmar, there's no big 40K. Like they got their books out, so and maybe they're hoping Grand Cathay and Horus Heresy will equal the release of a new edition.
Yeah,
which I feel like it might.
Yeah.
I don't think Horus Heresy is massive, but I think Grand Cathay might be able to outsell it.
Mm-hmm. I think you're going to see a lot of people buying that Grand Cathay for Sigmar as well. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've already heard multiple people that want to do that.
Doesn't want you to do that. Does not want your money for that.
No, it doesn't. Make sure when you buy it. Yeah. Make sure
you send them a letter and let them know that it's purely for Old World.
Yeah, letter of intent. Just down on my coffee today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's finally do it. Let's complete the collection. with the Arcane Journal. Beastmen Brayherds. Neil, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the? Okay, well, let's before we truly dive in. Give me your experience in like your 40,000-foot view of Beastmen in the old world, or even just references from fantasy. Like, how do you like them? How do you feel about them? Like,
I love Beastmen. In fact,
okay.
I wish they played a more prominent role, and it seems like they're giving them finally their due diligence. Because
the perpetual whipping boys of the setting, like, hey, a million beastmen just died in this off battle on the sideboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
especially during
for the
end
longest
times,
time in Age of Sigmar, like that's exactly what it was. Like if they needed somebody to die in a story, it was the Beastmen, right? Like you could just tell that they're like, we know you guys don't like this stuff, so we're just gonna make these guys be terrible. And when I say we know you guys don't like this stuff, they're clearly basing that on sales of Beastmen that didn't have like a new book for at least
years.
in fantasy for like years and years and years. So by the way, everybody, this is a litmus test that GW is putting out there, and you need to show them maybe that that we do want this, and that if they make a good army, that it didn't matter that people weren't buying this because they didn't like the models or whatever. They weren't buying it because it didn't have new rules in like 10 years, right? And it was terrible.
Yeah.
Right? So hopefully it has good rules. Hopefully people are just like, man, like I like it. I want a Beastman army. It's decent enough to play. And you start seeing them on the tabletop, because I mean, I'm just shocked that they're not at least as popular as Skaven.
Yeah. I mean, Skaven are very unique to the setting. Beastmen, I mean, they're minotaurs and things like that,
right?
But they're
Skaven,
cool.
I feel like is a very defined taste. You know what I mean? And people who love Skaven, right? But Beastmen, it's just kind of like it's like orcs and goblins, Beastmen, right? It's like on the same level, right? They're a trope that, at least for Warhammer, should just always be there. So
right.
I'm just surprised they're not as popular, and it might be because they just don't seem like very characterful.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, they do have some characters in this Arcane Journal, which is neat. The one thing I've always liked them as an army, being in war games for Warhammer settings, there's a big mental meta shift when you have a decent army that can appear almost anywhere, even directly behind you. If you don't have that threat, it really I can plan a lot better now that Beastmen have a great book. Wink, wink. And they're gonna shift up local metas and everything, because right now we're all worried about Bretonnian Pegasus Knights, and that's what's hitting people up mostly here and there. Cool. So now mentally we're all thinking, how do we handle that, blunt that charge, and do all that sort of stuff? And then you encounter that random Beastman player round 1 or 2, and he's just running in your back line out of nowhere, and you're like, I don't know how to handle this because I've prepared for this other thing. So it's another nuance of what we have to plan for. Also, I want to see a new tooled up Beastman army versus Bretonnian Exiles, just to see who wins that fight. Bretonnians are still good with the skirmishing Peg Knights.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
The one with the flying 360 charge arcs. Yeah.
Oh, please. They have to get rid of that. That's as much as I love it, because I have freaking 12 of them, but oh well. All right. Anyway, also too, I'm not sure what it's going to show. Some really cool Warhammer art. Nope, it's going to be blurry. Oh well. I started reading through the lore. For me, Beastmen, I love their army concept for how they play on the tabletop. I've never really had an interest of them as models, or like I don't hate them, but it's not an army I'd ever play.
Yeah.
Reading the lore, I was like, yeah, I could see if you're into this, you're into this. If you're not, just words on a page. Like my heart was not moving at all.
Beastmen are an army for me that their regular troops to me look cooler than some of their monsters.
True.
Like it's like the Cygor and that kind of thing's never really done it for me. The Minotaurs that GW put out are the most terribly anatomically created random muscle bulges, kind of thing. That's kind of just interesting. Like we apparently didn't look at how a cow's musculature works, but again, apologies to the sculptor, but
Well, that
I
sculptor's
don't know, it just
long
didn't do
gone.
it for me.
Yeah.
But head up, they look great. Love the Minotaur heads. But
I do like
Moonbolt looks good.
I like Centaurs. And their big beasts are pretty cool, but
Yeah. Who doesn't like Centaurs?
actually it's funny. I actually like their lore when they went to Sigmar, where they looked down upon the Chaos Warriors, but like you have to choose a god. No.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll bring that a little bit into this setting too. Maybe like reading it, they were very focused on just chaos for chaos reasons. So maybe it's in here a little bit more than it used to be because that was a cool idea.
Yeah.
Also, I do like there's it's going to be hard to see, but they started giving them the actual written out language. And what I like about it is it's almost like different handwriting mixed together. Because some is like, that's clearly a dwarf rune that you stole and repurposed. That's clearly like close to an elf one that you just half wrote. Other ones, it's like, you made that one up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which it fits the chaos theme, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting through here, talks about the historical battles and everything like that. Beautiful. I mean, I love these types of shots. I know it's blurry, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Just the army shots in the book, full color. I like in the back they're using the Sigmar Herdstone.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. That's definitely
Yeah.
That's the Herdstone.
I hope that Age of Sigmar in their ultimate magnanimous decision will allow the sale of the Beastmen Brayherds Age of Sigmar terrain piece for folks who want to use it for their Herdstone in these armies, because it's done, it's ready, it's right there.
Yeah.
And the fact that you couldn't buy a model that you own is just silly.
Yeah. Who's got two thumbs and already has one? This guy right here.
If I played Beast, trust me, I don't have any intention of playing Beastmen, but I'd almost be like, hey, if I see that out in the wild, I'm just gonna buy it. Just sit on it, just in case.
I'm so tempted by this army, and not because of power level or anything like that, but I'm tempted by it just because I feel like it's just one of those armies that you need to have. Like, even if you're just like setting up a battle, just to like look at it, like that's like you need bad guys, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have bad guys. Like, and I play too many good guys.
Same.
And so, I mean, even like Beastmen are even bad guys to orcs and goblins, right? If you're running orcs and goblins army. So
yeah, my only bad guy is technically Tomb Kings, and technically they're neutral. Let's be honest, that's what they should be. But yeah, you're right. I don't really have any bad guys in Old World. But also, I don't know. It's probably not gonna happen. Because I'm lazy. All right, so let's check out some of these armies, their compositions. Just like last time, I'm going to be reading, and then Neil will be reacting with hot takes and wild expressions for the thumbnails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Beastmen Brayherds Minotaur Blood Herd. So 50%, you got 0 to 1 Doom Bowls per 1,000, 0 to 1 Bray Shamans per 1,000. Is Bray Shaman, is that the level 4? Or is that the level 1 or 2? That's what we need to keep an eye out on. I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah, I have to look that up myself.
Get a little old world builder out.
That's going to tell you whether this army is any good or not, right off the cuff.
Great Bray Shaman is the 3 or 4. So this is a level 1 or 2. So right now,
okay,
a little sus.
Bum, bum, bum,
Gorbulls, Wargors, and Senegor Chieftains. Core is 33%, 0 to 1 Minotaur Herd, which makes sense. 0 to 1 Herdstone, wink wink, because that's the new thing. Gore Herds, Ungore Hordes, Chaos Warhounds. Special, 0 to 1 Dragon Ogres per 1,000. Harpies, Minotaurs, Senegor Herds, Razor Gores, and Gorgons. And then rare, 33%, 0 to 1 Dragon Ogre Shaggoth per 1,000. Chaos Giants, Chaos Ogres, Chaos Trolls. So this is made to be a Minotaur army. You can run Minotaurs, but you can also mix in just a little bit, and so it's led by Minotaurs, in case you want to, put a little play into it.
Yeah. Well, what I'll say about that is they better hit hard, because if they're not doing any magic, any magic tricks,
Well,
you might be in some trouble.
yeah,
So,
I mean,
they are pretty beefy.
you can do good with that, especially with ambushing rules. So, all right, there are rules. First one, bloodshed and butchery. All Doom Bulls, Gore Bulls, Minotaur Hordes, and Gore Herds within the Minotaur Blood Herd army gain impetuous special rule. Ouch.
Bum, bum, ba-da.
Um,
So maybe there's like an orcish hat in our future that's going to turn that off, or at least help some units. I guess we'll find out.
Champions of Slaughter. If the general of Minotaur Blood Horde becomes frenzied as a result of Blood Rage special rule, any friendly units within his command range also become frenzied. Better. Now, well, you getting that extra attack. These are quality attack type.
Why do you need
models.
frenzy and
well, you have to gain frenzy.
Impetuous?
You have
Like
to gain...
why both though? Like why couldn't it just been frenzy and because frenzy can be kind of a detriment as well, right?
Frenzy
if
can
your
be
opponent plays well, right?
Yeah, frenzy is frenzy. You're gonna have to charge. You always have to keep charging, which makes sense for them. I think the impetuous is there just to maybe do the play, like maybe you can get a round one counterplay against the whole army being frenzied, because like it's probably going to be pretty close to most of the army's going to be frenzied once the general gets it.
True. Now, impetuous is closest unit. Is frenzy just any unit?
Impetuous is not. Frenzy is closest unit. Impetuous is just you have to declare a charge. You don't have to be closest.
Really? I thought it was closest.
I thought it was too, and I remember checking it at the tournament, and it's just make a charge.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Guardians of the Herdstones next. Doom Bulls, Gore Bulls, and Minotaur Blood Herds may take Chaos Mutations from Ravening Hordes, Gifts of Chaos from Ravening Hordes, up to a total of 50 points. So, yeah, you get to be little pseudo Chaos Warriors, pretty much with some of this stuff. So,
yeah,
it that unlocks a whole section of Magic stuff for them, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Magic of the Dark Gods. General of Minotaur Blood Herd must be a Doom Bull or Gore Bull. For 35 points, this character may be a level 1 wizard. 65 may be a level 2 wizard. So your character melee champion can also become a wizard if you want. Now, if those changes happen where level 1 or 2s get +1, level 3s or 4 get +2, all of a sudden you could have very easily 3 level 2s in here.
That's not bad.
That's not bad in that context.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between a +1 and a +2 is not as much if you're doing the maths as that +4. So it might actually be useful.
Yep.
But in the current game state, that is less than useful.
Right. And he'll know battle magic or lore of dark magic. So buffs or just brute force melee stuff. And you may also wear armor without a penalty in this. So it's just you're making a cool Doom Bull, and you might be able to give him a little bit of extra attacking power.
It's the Altharion the Grim of cows.
Yes. Good way to do it. So what do you think about this army as a whole, like this type of thing? Like the Minotaur theme is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like I like it from that aspect. But
yeah, I mean, where's the beef? Here's the beef, right? This is where it is. So
yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you like Minotaurs, awesome, you can give it a try. But my question is it better than just the Grand Army? I don't know, because you can also have Dragon Ogres with your Minotaurs and the Grand Army. So
well, you can have Dragon Ogres in special.
It's true.
Yeah. And
0 to 1, I guess. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe.
So you can have a lot of beefy boys. Yep.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what a good player could do with this, but yeah, I wonder if it's better than just running the regular deal. So, because again, you get access to level 4 that way, right?
Yeah.
So
level 4 is the big hang up for us on this right now. Like I said, things change, like we've been hearing on the rumors. Maybe this army all of a sudden becomes a lot more interesting.
Yeah, that's been like every one of these Arcane journals, right? That's the first thing you look at, and then again, you play your game show disappointment.
Yeah.
You say every time that doesn't come up.
I'm kind of partial to the Wheel of Fortune bankruptcy noise myself.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have the Beastmen, Brayherds, the Wild Herd. So Let's start it out. 50%. 0-1 Beast Lord or Great Bray Shaman. So in the current setting, boom, you got your level 4. 2 at most.
Mhm.
And then Wargors, Bray Shamans, and Centaur Chieftains. Centaur Chieftains, that's fun. Core, 33%. You have to have 1 Primal Warherd, which I think, if we're looking here, I think you can mix a little bit of Gores and Ungores and things like that together. 0-1 Tusker Chariots per 1,000 points. 0-1 Centaur Herds may be taken as a core choice per Centaur Chieftain taken. So Centaurs is core. Pretty good cavalry style unit. Don't hate that. Gore Hordes, Ungore Herds, Chaos Warhounds, Primal Warhounds, and Razor Gore Herds. So get some hounds in there. A little cheap chaff going. I don't hate that.
Can you get cheap chaff though in the Grand Army?
I think you can get the Warhounds and stuff in the Grand Army too.
Mm-hmm. All
right. Special 0-1 unit of Dragon Ogres, just flat, no things there. You just get 1 or none. 0-1 Cockatrice or Praeton per 1,000 points. And then Warped Gores, Beast Gore Hordes, Harpies, Centaur Herds, Tusker Chariots, and Razor Gore Chariots. And 33% Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, Jabber Slice, Cygors, Chaos Giants, and Chaos Spawn. Chaos Spawns are good.
How much? Yeah, Chaos Spawns are good.
Yeah.
How much is the core tax? Is it 33%?
It's 33. Sorry, it's 33.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of Chaos Warhounds and Centaurs that you got to put in the army.
I mean, yeah, like this.
Yeah, unless you're running big blocks of troops, right? Which we know currently is not the way you want to go. But
maybe in the future.
Here's to hoping. Fingers crossed.
I feel like this is the one built for like, hey, do you have a huge Beastmen army?
Mm.
This is the one for you because no one wants to buy this many Beastmen. I think 2025.
right.
But yeah, you get level 4, so much more like slow moving up outside of the Centaurs. And Dragon Ogres could go pretty quick too. All right, Ancient Sorcery. In addition, lores of magic normally known, Beastmen shamans within a wild herd may also take the lore of primal magic. Oh, we got our own lore in here? Why don't high elves get our own lore? I know they put it in the core.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Stay on target.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Dark Coven. Beastmen shamans within a wild herd may leech power from nearby wizards when they attempt to cast a spell or when attempting a wizardly dispel. Ugh, okay. To do so, a Bray Shaman or Great Bray Shaman may apply a +1 modifier to their casting or dispel roll for each other friendly wizard within their command range. However, if they roll any natural double when making the roll, something has gone wrong, horribly wrong, the spell's miscast, or they have been outclassed in the art. In such cases, roll immediately on the miscast table and apply the results to the Great Bray Shaman and to the Bray Shaman or Great Bray Shaman that made the attempt, and to each friendly wizard within their command range.
Nice. This is kind of similar to what I came up with for kind of fixing wizards or whatever, like where they kind of work off each other.
So. A little bit, but there's no cap on this.
Yeah.
So you could have a huge casting attempt, but as soon as you roll doubles, you roll 1 miscast, and boom, everything in your army is blowing up. Hopefully.
Well, potentially, depending on what you roll on the miscast table, which is not too devastating, not as devastating as it once was, anyway. So there's a chance that you just, you roll that 10 or more, and it just goes off at irresistible force. So
yeah,
it's not the biggest drawback in the world for what you get.
But we all live for the moment that all of a sudden little tie plates are just pop up, and
right.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this spell. I like the risk reward because it makes sense in the Chaos Army.
Yeah.
Gifts from the Dark Gods. Characters may spend additional 25 points on magic items and chaos mutations, and roaming warbands. Within the army, not any number of Gore Herd, Ungore, Primal, Centaur Herds may have Ambusher special rule at 1 point per model, and any number of Beastmen Chieftains or Centaur Chieftains may have Ambushers for 10 points per model. In addition, 0-1 Gore Herd, Ungore, Centaur Herds per 1,000 points with a unit strength of 10 or less may be given Ambusher rule for free. So this is the classic, like I said, how do I deal with you appearing in my back line? I was not prepared for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with this style army build, you're going to have plenty up front and plenty possibly coming in the back too.
Now, do they have a way to manage Ambusher, like a +1 or -1 to the...
To my knowledge, I don't think so, unless I'm missing something from the core. So, but like you can get plenty of them, like any number. Like you could ambush almost your whole army if you wanted to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that helps a little bit, but like having control over that, I feel like is what makes an ambushing army playable. So,
Yeah,
it's you can't have half your if you give it to half your army, right, and half your army doesn't come in. All right, now you got problems, right? You know, you're playing with basically one hand tied behind your back until said things show up. So
yeah, but it's just the fact that they can almost they can army wide it is pretty almost army wide it. I don't think the Bray Shamans can take it, but still, I like the fact that they can do it more prevalently than any other army out there. That alone will switch up the meta potentially. You know, if a good list comes out, you know, for the competitive scene.
Yeah,
and even locally, I have two to three two to three Beastmen armies out there, and I was like, well, shit, now I got to deal with this.
I mean, your war machines are doomed, right?
Yes.
So they're not long for this world. They may get to fire twice, right?
Unless you're a dwarf and you're sitting in the back edge of the table, and you're like, you're coming to me. You can't ambush on me.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see dwarves get better. Yeah, there we go. We can only hope.
Always. Yeah.
All right, so now we have some special characters. Kralmal, the Prophet of Ruin. That model, that was one of the first new models we've seen, if I recall. Wasn't it? It was an early one we saw, and he's finally out.
I can't remember.
He's the blind Great Bray Shaman.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's out now. Let's see. 245 points. Beastman stats: move 5, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, toughness 5, wounds 4, initiative 3, attacks 2, leadership 8. Now here's where he gets different from every other character we've seen. He is a level 4 wizard.
Ooh, look at that.
Took him this long, but they got there.
Yeah.
No more level 3 name characters.
Couldn't give high elves a level 4 wizard. That's wrong.
Oh yeah, no. Here,
not like there's one in particular running around out there. Anyway, I'll stop.
Listen, I'm just saying. I think all high elves should be level 4 wizards. Okay. He knows spells from dark magic and primal magic, so he is limited on what he can choose. So the new lore, and then obviously like the buffing, hexing, dark magic. Special rules: Bray Staff, Future Sight, Gaze of the Gods, which is always good. Not always, but could be good. Always screws me over when I'm playing anything that has it. Leering Spirit, Lore of Beasts, Mark of Chaos Undivided, Primal Fury, Warband. He has a 4-up ward save, essentially. Any wounds suffered. That's his Future Sight. Leering Spirit. When Kralmal is deployed, place a Leering Spirit marker anywhere in the battlefield that's within 8 inches of an enemy unit. Once placed, the marker does not move, but it's a 360-degree line of sight. The marker cannot be charged, targeted, or attacked in any way. However, if Kralmal is removed from play casually, the token's also removed from play. During the shooting phase, each of Kralmal's turns, the Leering Spirit marker may cast a Devolve spell from Lore of Beasts and as a bound spell, power level 3. So I'm casting across the table, no range, and just going to do some damage to you. 360 arc.
Nice.
I don't hate that.
No.
And then Grizzly Totem. It says Bray Staff. In addition, all enemies within 6 inches of Kralmal suffer a -1 modifier to the leadership characteristic to minimum of 2. So maybe all of a sudden we start seeing these Beastmen Brayherds out there. We'll start seeing that army of Talzin come out with all that ridiculous bonus to the leadership, including their 80-point banner no one will ever take.
You're gonna see Beastmen pairing up with
vampires.
Vampire counts.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough. That's gonna be a rough doubles.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Kralmal?
He sounds pretty good. What's his points?
245.
That's doable for a level 4 wizard.
Considering how
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, and considering how cheap the rest of your army could be.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I mean, I'm used to paying that minimum for a high elf wizard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, minimum. So.
And a little extra just boom shooting spell in your back line. Like, I don't even care if I ambush. I'm just gonna sit back here and just devolve your backline unit here.
Yeah, 4-up ward is nice. I mean, even if he gets in combat, and usually these type of wizards and everything have a little punch to them as well. So like,
I mean, he's
you
a
know,
beastman, so he's still gonna do okay.
you know, he's probably got some assailment spells that might, if he does get into combat, might
Oh,
be pretty nice. So
we'll look at lore of primal magic. Don't you worry.
yeah.
All right, next character we got Gorhos Warhoof, Sire of 1,000 Young. That's a name. He is a Centaur hero.
It sounds like that to a dad.
Yeah.
it's not what you want. Yeah.
Well, okay,
yeah,
we're gonna look.
Sounds real good. Sounds real good up until reality hits.
Yeah. So it's blurry, but you can kind of see him poking in and out. So he's got this big club with some sharp points on it in one hand. We're gonna call that like it's his lawn mowing scythe, and the other one is just a beer. So he's just a lawnmower dad that has way too many kids, and he's mowing the lawn to get away.
What's his name again?
Gorhos Warhoof, Sire of 1,000 Young.
Well, Gorhos, happy Father's Day.
That's true. Happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to everybody else out there. Yeah, because that's true. That is coming in the next day, or yesterday by the time you listen to this podcast. He's heavy cavalry, move 8, which is a Centaur move. Weapon skill 5, BS 3, strength 5, T4, weapon or wounds 3, initiative 4, attacks 4. Great. Leadership 8 points, 155. He has Drunken, Father of Beasts, Gaze of the Gods, Mark of Chaos Undivided, Move Through Cover, Primal of Fury, Stomp D3, Swift Stride, Sons of Goros, and Warband. So I like that he has the beer in his hand and everything in the model, so he's drunken. This is a dad who's tired of all the 1,000 kids he had. He's out there mowing his lawn, drinking his beer. That's what this is. He's not a good dad.
Yeah,
he's doing his best though. He's doing his best.
He peaked in high school, and now he's he's had a lot of kids, maybe too early, and now he's hitting the sauce.
You know. I think we're gonna call this guy locally Mike K.
What is it?
Mike K. Our good friend Mike.
Oh boy.
Too many kids drinking beer. He's not an alcoholic though, so. But anyway, Fury of Beasts. Whilst within Gorhos Warhoof's command range, friendly Centaur hordes may reroll the d6 when on the drunken table. So there you go. So they're drunk, but he keeps it together. So do they.
Yeah, he's got an intestinal fortitude.
Yes.
I should have named that.
Does he actually have Centaur hurt? Does he not? He might not get to reroll it, actually.
That's hilarious.
I don't think he gets to reroll it, but everyone else does. Sons of Goros. 0-1 Centaur herds in the same muster list as Goros may be upgraded to Sons of Goros for +2 points per model. They have +1 to their weapon skill and leadership to max 10 and gain Armor Bane 1 special rule. So that's pretty cool. He gets his own little custom unit to just run around with them. And Skull of the Unicorn Lord, which, 6-up ward against any wounds suffered that were caused by non-magical attacks, and 5-up ward against wounds caused by magical attacks. I like that. I kind of like that whole. It's frustrating when you have a ward against one or the other. I'm okay if one's being better than the other, but yeah, I like having both.
Yeah, sure.
And Man Smasher, his weapon, strength +1, AP 1, and he is strength 5, so that's a strength 6 right there.
Nice.
Not swinging last. Armor Bane 1, magical attacks, multiple wounds D3. The strength modifier only applies in turn charged, which he'll probably be charging as often as possible.
Yeah.
So 155 points. How you like Goros?
If I'm playing a Beastman army, there's not a chance that I'm not like theming an army around this boy.
Oh yeah.
It's too good. It's too good of a backstory. This is one of those times when GW just does awesome with a backstory and just makes you want to play a guy. This is it, right?
Yeah.
They knocked this one out of the park. So well done. Slow clap.
Yep, slow clap. There's your army theme. No, you don't need Minotaurs. You need Goros, Sire of 1,000 Sons. And whenever you say it, you have to say the whole name every time.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And if someone you're playing doesn't, you just smack them across the mouth. It's a rule. It's actually, that's another rule in here. Sorry. Yeah. If someone doesn't say,
this is the Fire Slayers army. just a bunch of sons running around out there.
Yes, sir. All right, we have some special units. We won't go into too much here. We got warped gores, which are just gores with the blessing of the chaos table. They get stinging barbs, scrying talons, chitinous hide. Um, so you roll that in combat subphase, and you can see what they get in for this. So you want some extra armor. +1. Actually, sorry, +1 to your toughness is the chitinous hide. Scrying talons, just armor piercing, AP2. And then stinging barb is poisoned. So, just a little bit more interesting gores.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. Normal upgrades, it looks like. They do have armor hide 1, so you get this on a 6 up there. Maybe they can take shields for free, so 5 up armor. Strength 3 base, so it's okay, but hey, get some poison on them. Luckily, go after a dragon, see what you can do.
Yeah, this is the army that hits hard, and then has to save based on their toughness, right?
Yes.
Not a whole ton of armor going around here, but still kind of a tough nut to crack due to the toughness of some of the bigger units. So,
let's see, Primal Warhounds. Include 1 Ungor Ravager for every 3 Primal Warhounds. So it's kind of like their little beast pack, I suppose. I don't remember. The Warhounds always just die so quickly in my games.
Yeah.
They
shoot, done. Yeah.
They can have 6 up armor and they can have poison attack. So that's probably the bonus there. Maybe. But I mean, move 7. It's a little quick thing in your army. That'd be a good ambusher type thing. If you can you give ambush? Swift Stride, Warband, move through cover, Motley Crew, Close Order Horde. It doesn't look like they can get any sort of ambush potentially. So, but yeah, just run it up. Here's some chaff. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think the Ungor Ravager, which is right below here, just basic gore, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 attack. Rear ranks. Yeah, just a little extra character to run around with it. He's moved 7 though, so he's not slowing him down. So I don't know what the exact use of that is, because like I said, every time I've seen any sort of warhounds on the table, they're just chaff and they get blown away real easily.
Right.
So
redirectors, guys just set up a flank so that the other army has to deal with it, so they don't wind up in your war machines or whatever else you're doing in the back line. So
yeah, I mean, maybe I don't think normal warhounds have Swift Stride potentially. These ones do, so maybe that's the big thing about them. Nice long bomb charges.
Yes. Again, I don't know what they're doing when they charge. So I mean, anything they hit, it's just kind of like, all right, well, I rolled, poorly, and now now I get killed back.
Exactly.
So,
Fair. Primal Warhordes. So this is going to be this. The big thing about this is the mixed unit. You can take gores and ungores mixed together. So we got the Motley Crew going on. They do have a bestial charge. If you move 3 inches, +1 to your strength characteristic, so strength goes to 4. It's not bad. It's going to help you win a few fights. But yeah, models with Primal Warhorde have different weapon skills and toughness. Before rolling to wound, hits caused, shooting, and divided as evenly as possible. The enemy model, so just it's a mixed unit, which is kind of cool to see of your types of gores and ungores. So, much like orcs have that in one of their things where you get the little mixed things. So you can have here's the guys with shields, here's the guys with not shields, great weapons. So have a little fun mixing it up and doing that. So I like those types of units, and they make sense in this type of army.
Yeah.
Praeton, monstrous creature. That's the deer thing. That looks like a nightmare to assemble.
I don't remember seeing
it's
that.
It's like a deer thing with wings. It's an old model. When it came back, I was surprised, but it has ambusher for 10 points. Move 6, weapon skill 5, strength 5, T5, wounds 4, niche 5, attacks 4, 160 points. Has impact. D3, fly 10, terror, large target, even though it's just kind of a smaller base.
So aim, cannon, and destroy.
It's a smaller base than you think. That's going to be undershoot or
10
overshoot.
inches from the back.
I mean, yeah.
As long as you don't roll a miscast, it's happening, right? I
Right.
mean, like with probably 70% efficiency. So
Impacts have Armor Bane 1 and AP 1, which that's nice. And Endless Malice. This model wins around a combat and chooses to restrain. It passes leadership test to do so. Enemy units within 6 inches must take a panic test as if nearby friendly units have been destroyed. You win combat over some chaff, and all of a sudden everything within 6 inches, because that beast just like, I just won. Who wants to fight? Everyone else is like, I gotta maybe run away. That's pretty sick. And Strength 5, AP 2, Armor Bane 1 on his antlers. And you can put it in a Grand Army, 0 to 1 per 1,000 points in special. So, the model looks like a nightmare to assemble, but 160 points, I would include it. I like that. I like what it does.
160 points, still a lot of points for something with 4 wounds and toughness 5, right? I mean, you've got a Merworm running around there that probably isn't efficient for its points at 225 at, strength 6, toughness 6, at least 4 wounds.
Yeah.
And -1, they're -2 to be hit at long range, and -1 to opponent's wounds. It's doing a whole lot more. But again, it's probably overpriced for what it does. And so now you've got this at 160. It maybe feels maybe a little high for me, but
I'd say it's 170 points because I'm putting Ambusher on it every time. Because start Terror Bomb charging you in the back line. If I kill some weak chaff or something back there,
yeah,
probably make other things run away.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Unless it just never comes in.
Unless it never comes in. Yep. Also, too, it looks like the most fragile model I've seen. So here's my most fragile model. I'm going to put it right next to my opponent who doesn't give a shit about it.
God, yeah. So I play Sky Cutters that are like, I don't know, how high are they? Maybe 12 inches off, like to the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
Right. And every time, like a guy kind of reached over top of that during the tournament, was like, oh Jesus, oh.
Yeah.
Please God. They were fine. They were fine.
All right. Next thing, the Herdstone. So Herdstone, 100 points, 0 to 1 per army. Let's see. Place it. Once players have finished placing terrain and rolled for deployment, Beastmen Brayherd, whose mustering list includes this. Place it anywhere in the battlefield that's not within their opponent's deployment zone and not within 6 inches of the center of the table. Or you can treat it as a special feature or put it as a special feature based on a scenario. Control it. Unit strength 5 or more near 6. That doesn't matter too much. Here's the fun stuff. Special rule. Tingle in the air. Air around Herdstone tingles strangely. Those that stand too close have a funny taste in their mouth. The unit controlling it has magic resist 1. Okay. Bestial Fury. We've heard this a lot. Beneath the shadow of the Herdstone, Beastmen fight with terrible ferocity, shedding blood. If the Herdstone is controlled by a Beastmen Brayherds unit, friendly Beastmen Brayherd units within 12 may re-roll any rolls to wound of natural 1 whilst engaged in combat. That's pretty good.
How do you control it? Is my question.
Oh, you control. You have to have unit strength 5 or more, be within 6 inches, and not fleeing. And if 2 or more eligible are controlled within 6 inches, the unit closest controls it. If 2 are belonging to opposing armies equally Herdstone, it's contested. So just like any objective in like Sigmar and stuff. So
okay,
unit strength 5 or more.
I'm kind of curious how they do that. So that's kind of like what I call a proximity objective, right? Like, so
yeah,
how close are you? Do you control or does somebody else control? All right, so now we're starting to get a little bit of objective-based play here, ish.
Yep, I like the unit strength 5 or more on that objective control. Can't just have a random hero back on his on his own doing this stuff. Like no, he needs to have some support with him.
Okay.
Dark sorcery. Friendly beastmen wizards within 12 gain +1 modifying to their casting rolls, and enemy wizards within 12 -1 to their casting. Oh boy, you have level 5s now.
Mm-hmm.
For 100 points.
Perfect.
Fearsome Edifice. Whilst within 12 inches, that is controlled by Beastmen Brayherds, enemy units suffer -1 to the leadership when making leadership's test due to fear, panic, or terror. And then victory points, because this costs points in the army. So, as well as special features, a herd stone is an important landmark. To represent this, either player controls the herd stone at the end of the battle. That player is awarded a bonus 200 victory points. So, I'm a Beastmen Brayherds army. I spend 100 points. I'm now winning the game by 200 points at the start of the game.
100%. And you're going to bury that thing probably back as far as you possibly can. So nobody's getting to it, especially not dwarf armies. So
yes.
Yeah. Oof. Don't love it.
I know it's one of those things where I'm like, do I go for it? But like, if they're putting most of their army back there, you're gonna maybe like if you get through the army, you're gonna be getting there anyway. I feel.
Yeah. So I wonder if now this can go in any army, right? This can go in the Grand Army as well.
I believe so. Let me see. Just checking. In any Beastmen Brayherds army. Yep. Using any army. Yep. It can be in every army now. Which I think you're gonna see it in every army just because it's cool.
Oh, sure. Somebody's gonna go outside and find a rock, put it on the table, and be like, "There it is." So
yeah, it measuring no more than 6 inches at its widest point. Wow. So
yeah, I don't know. Like it's we'll see how the game evolves, but that's a pretty steep advantage for the old Beastmen right there. Because a lot of games come down to that like 200 point. I mean, you swing it 200 points, and you got yourself a draw instead of a loss. Or even worse the other way, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, sure, you have 100 points down, but you're 200 points up. So.
But it is a special feature, and Correct. So maybe what we need to start doing is throwing some more special features into our games, and maybe this match play, new match play rules are going to throw some more of these in there. So if you're a Wood Elf player and you want to play one of their bad Arcane Journal armies, you, sir, might get a bonus if you get close enough to this thing.
Exactly. There you go.
Good luck to you.
All right, Lore of Primal Magic. Signature spell, Primordial Gloom, cast 9, Magical Vortex, range 12. Remains in play, 3-inch blast template. It's within 12 inches of the caster on the center. Whilst in play, template does not move and is treated as dangerous terrain. Whilst within 6 inches, enemy suffers -1 to the leadership to a minimum of 2 and treat open ground as difficult terrain. Okay. All right, Call the Wild. Conveyance, cast 8, range 12. The spell can only target friendly models whose troop type is infantry or cavalry. They gain reserve special move. Okay.
Love it.
Extra movement. Great.
I love reserve. Such a good rule.
Gloaming Wildwood. Hex. Cast 10, range 15. Remains in play. Whilst the spell's in play, target enemy units fear all models in the caster's army, not including allies or mercenaries. Models in the caster's army that already have fear now cause terror instead. The spell is cast. The effects of any other hex are previously gone.
All right. So that one actually doesn't cause anything because nobody actually remembers to roll their fear checks because usually it's based on unit strength and you don't have to worry about it. So it always is based on unit strength actually. So
yeah, if you're casting on something, you're casting on something that already has fear, just to maybe get some terror checks.
Yeah. If you're running an elite army against them that is not going to have a whole ton of models in each unit, then you will be taking fear checks all day long. But hopefully what happens then is you got a high leadership, and so you really don't have to worry about it unless you roll poorly.
Everybody has high leadership in this game. I don't want to hear it. If you have at least leadership 7, guess what? You have high leadership. Just deal with it. You're fine.
Yeah.
All right. We were having this argument another night with Brad. He was playing this. He's like, I'm like leadership 7, and like he's rolling like getting the pluses on stuff. Like, no, everyone has high leadership. Doesn't matter. Yeah, leadership's useless in this game. I hope they kind of adjust things. Goblins being leadership 10, nah, bro.
Yeah, everything's got to re-roll on their leadership as well, right? So
except for high elves. So like, yeah, when I roll that 12 on my dragon, yeah, fuck me.
it feels like Age of Sigmar, how it used to be back in the day when you would you had the bravery checks and everything, and just it was just a useless rule because you just would just ignore it based on this rule or that rule, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they're like, what am I doing now? Whatever. So.
All right. Flock of Doom. Assailment. Cast 8. Combat. 3-inch blast template. so its centered hole is directly over the center of a unit the caster is engaged with in combat. Once placed, the template will scatter D3 plus 1. Any enemy model whose baseline underneath the template's final position risks being hit by a single Strength 3 hit AP dash. These hits have multiple wounds 2 special rule. So, could be useful. I don't know. I see a lot of 1 wound type things, but maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's Strength 3, AP dash, and then it's got multiple wounds. The multiple wounds is nice, but are you really going to get anything through on it? I don't know.
3-inch, you're not getting a lot of, like, you're going to roll off 4-ups to hit things. So, like, yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah, you're not really going to, you're not a prayer with that one.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Fury of the Beast, enchantment, I should say. Sorry, I keep saying that. Value 9, range self. So this can be cast in combat. Till the end of this turn, the caster and any unit he's joined gain the fight and extra rank special roll. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine just here's, oh my, yeah. You're going to win that combat, hopefully.
Yeah, get some great weapons on something and send them in, man.
Yep. Granted, you're also going to have your Brave Shaman, your Great Barrier Shaman in combat too, but hey, we'll figure that out when we get there.
And who knows? If infantry gets better, that rule may get even better.
Strangleroot, Magic Missile, cast 9, range 4d6. Uh-oh.
So 14 inches on average?
Yeah.
All right.
Draw a straight line, 46 in length from the caster's base edge. Any model whose base falls under the line suffers D3 strength 3 hits, AP -2. The strength 3 is what's hurting these spells.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. And then just D3 of them?
D3 strength 3 hits any enemy model. So you put this through a big line of things and you touch 10 models, that's each model's going to take D3. Now, truth be told, yeah, you're probably going to kill what you get to. You get high dice going on there, but like, yeah. Each model takes it, so that's kind of fun. That one could peak more often than not, I feel like, to do some okay damage.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one, Neath the Shaden Woadspan. Magical Vortex, cast 10, range 15. Large Blast template. Remains in play. Template does not move. Tree is dangerous terrain with no line of sight. Can be drawn while it's within 6 inches of the template. Enemy units suffer -2 modifier to ballistic skill. Any enemy unit that ends its movement within 3 inches immediately takes a panic test. Test is failed, the unit will flee directly away from the nearest enemy, which is not itself fleeing.
Piss off wood elves.
Yes. Or get up there and be like, oh, hey, shooty dwarf army, boom.
Yeah.
This is going to be here. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate this lore problem magic. There's some fun stuff.
There's some bangers in there.
Here's the real bangers. Magic items.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, all right. Black Maul. Here's your 80-point weapon, Neil. I know you love these.
Oh, yeah. I'm always tempted by these kind of things.
Yeah. Strength +2, AP -3, extra attacks, D6 magical attacks. Each time a 6 is rolled for an extra attacks on D6, the wielder must suffer a -1 penalty to weapon skill, minimum of 1. So if you want to roll 5s
on a Doom Bowl, right? Could you imagine the amount of hitting powers coming through on this thing? Like,
oh, crazy! That'd be what, strength 7, 8,
something like that. Yeah. I mean, what a disaster! Is it strikes last?
No.
Of course it's not. The orcs have like the battle axe of the last Wa, right? Sounds like it'd be pretty good, right? It strikes last. Give you. I think it's D6 extra attacks or whatever, but not nearly as good as this.
Hey, you want to take the Star Lance, make it 80 points, and give me extra D6 attacks? I'll be happy.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
Yeah. Axe of Korgar, 40 points. Strength +1, -2 AP, extra attacks +1, magical attacks, requires 2 hands.
Yeah.
So it doesn't strike last, requires 2 hands. And may reroll any rolls of 1.
Jesus.
That's pretty good.
It's almost like they figured out, all these common magic items that we made.
Wound rolls of 1. Wound rolls of 1, sorry. Anyway.
Okay. That don't have AP. Like we're gonna fix that now for this particular army.
Yeah. With your, as long as you get through on the hits, you're going to wound, because more often than not, I think you're going to be wounding on twos with a lot of the characters you're putting these on, for sure.
Yeah, because they're going to be huge, high strength for sure.
Yep.
And like, I mean, it's so great. I mean, it's what magic weapons they should always have AP. Like, why do I want a magic weapon that literally hits the same way as a hand weapon? I don't understand.
I know. I wish Dragon Slaying had at least -1.
So thank God that they're actually realizing this, at least in this book anyway, because there's so many magic weapons that are just hot trash and just not usable. Like,
right,
it's a magic weapon, for Christ's sake. It should do something.
It should do
I don't
stuff.
care what the voice costs are. So,
all right.
Especially when you're forced to use them. It's just like, here they got that, what is the 5-point weapon that gives you flaming attacks and magical attacks and nothing else. And you're like, why would I ever want that?
Yeah.
It's just a hand weapon with flaming attacks.
I took it because I had 5 points. I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, God. Like, but you have to use it then.
Yeah.
You can't use your great weapon. You have to use
that. Yeah. Well, usually it's been going on like mages just for fun.
I guess. Oof.
Anyway, Brass Cleaver, 30 points. User strength, AP2, magical attacks. Enemy model. You're like, that's fine, sure, whatever. Enemy models are not permitted armor, ward, or regen saves against this. If you a natural roll to wound of a 6.
Wow.
So you get lots of attacks and you roll 6s. Guess what? You're taking those wounds. You lose.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
I said good day.
Scimitar of Skulltar, 25 points. Probably the most basic one you're going to see. User strength, AP1, armor bane 1, magical attacks, multiple wounds 2. Done.
Yeah.
Still, 25 points. That's not bad.
25 points for multiple wounds 2. Get the hell out of here.
Yep.
That's so good. Especially, if you got on a guy with high attacks. That's really good. That's ruining something's day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Minotaur unit champion. There you go. That's his weapon.
Yeah.
All right, magic armor time. Full plate chaos armor, 40 points. Heavy chaos armor, 30 points. Then it's underneath the same thing here, so.
By the way, just to interlude one more time.
Please.
Could you imagine just a regular champion, like let's just say a Minotaur champion, in that challenge against Slaves to Darkness with one of these weapons?
You can only be 1 wound infantry to accept those challenges.
Oh, it's true. This is true. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Whew. I'm thinking like I could turn that guy into a fine paste.
I say.
All right, glad that's taken care of.
The best I've done in those challenges is accepting with my Sword Master champion, because his high weapon skill means I'll win.
Yeah.
But
fair enough. Yep.
All right, full chaos armor, heavy chaos armor. It is full plate or heavy armor, full armor or heavy armor. So yeah, you got the 5 up or the 4 up. Both may be purchased and worn by a wizard, even though they did not have the option to equip it, shield or barding, without penalty. In addition, 5 up ward. 40 point or 30 point 5 up ward with some armor. Not bad.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean,
great.
I upgrade to, was it Blood of Caldor to get the dragon armor to get a 6 up ward. That's 15 points.
Talisman of Protection is 35 points for 5 up ward, nothing else.
Yep.
So this is better.
All right. The Fur of Shargu, 20 points. May be worn with other armor, so you can stack this.
Oh, Jesus.
Wearer the Fur of Shagu improves their armor value by 2 to a maximum of 2+ against non-magical shooting attacks. Okay.
Yeah, non-magical shooting attacks.
I guess if you're going to have a lone beast Bray Shaman or something, maybe throw us on there.
Yeah,
20 points.
maybe if you got a guy running around on a chariot that people are going to try and shoot or something like that, then you just throw that on, -2 to shoot. Take that. What the hell is that? Troll hammer torpedo. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. See you later. All right, Talisman. Let's start with something strong. 50 points. Chalice of Dark Rain. Single use. During the command sub-phase in their turn, they're not engaged combat. The bearer of the chalice may drink from it. Until the start of the next turn sub-phase, all enemy missile weapons halved, rounding fractions up, and enemy war machines cannot shoot. Okay, Neil, we need to get across the table. We are a combat army that needs to go fast, and we cannot survive lots of shooting. What if you can't shoot me for the turn I'm running and screaming across the table at you?
Yeah. Not to mention,
Jesus.
we're also going to put down that that template that gives you -2 to any ballistics skill shooting.
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Like crazy. That
I
is
don't
absolutely
understand
crazy.
how Wood Elves beat this army, but
I don't think they do.
uh,
I don't think they do. I would love that in any army.
hmm
The army I just ran, my aggressive high elf list. Oh boy, I'd be all over that if I could get it.
Oh god, this would absolutely ruin Matt's day against the dwarf army. So
Oh
his
yeah.
current
Don't tell Matt, everybody. All right.
list.
All right. Next up, 30 points. Cornucopia of Corpulence. When the bearer's combat's chosen during step 1-1 of any choose and fight subphase, enemy models in base contact with the bearer of the Cornucopia of Corpulence must take a toughness test. If failed, they lose a wound. You're touching my base, you die.
Okay.
It's okay. That's okay. I mean, I guess get this on a big base thing and let it do some work, hopefully. All right, Magic Standards. 50 points, Gore Banner. If a unit wishes to declare a charge against the unit carrying the Gore Banner, it must take a leadership test. If failed, unit cannot charge. It does not move and is considered to make a failed charge. If test is passed, you can charge as normal. 50 points, kind of, it's like guaranteed fear. Like, I don't care about your strength.
I don't know. You're going to pass it. You're going to pass the leadership test. Bretonnians are just going to roll it twice and pass it. You know, it's, I don't know.
Fair. All right, next up, Banner of the Warp Moon, 45 points. During command subphase in their turn, if a unit's not engaged combat, the bearer may attempt to unleash the power by making a leadership test. If the test is passed until the start of your next turn subphase, you cannot use Fly X special rule. 45 points. Here's another Falcon Horn out there. You can just
stop taking flying things, basically. Now you've got 2 of these things in the meta. They're absolutely going to be in every single army you see, at least in the current rules. And yeah, so you might as well, like anything like your Great Eagles, like your Sky Cutter Chariots that are like movement 2.
Your Dragons, which are 6.
I mean, 6 is still at least decent. You know, at least you're moving a little bit, right? But yeah, you basically you can't take a Sky Cutter at this point. Like with these things floating around out there, yeah, you're not going to go anywhere. So
what is? I'm checking here. Give me 1 second. Special. What's Pegasus Knight's normal move? Move 7. Okay, so maybe not the worst thing in the world there.
Yeah. They still have Swift Stride, so it doesn't cancel out Swift Stride, right?
No,
so
it does not cancel out Swift Stride, so
yeah,
won't hurt them. Yeah. Anyway, there's 2 of them out there now. Good luck, everybody. All right, Beast Banner, 40 points. Beast Banner unit increases its maximum charge range by 3 inches when making a charge roll and add a D3 modifier to the result. Okay. 40 points. I don't know. I feel like that should be 35 points, but I'm nitpicking there at that point. All right, and then the Soiled Tapestry, 15 points. Gains hatred all enemies. However, all enemies hate the unit carrying the banner. You want rerolls for days? Now, High Elves have the nice little balance thing to prevent that from happening, maybe, but...
Yeah, I mean, you would need to have this on a unit that is going to get the charge and is going to hit with a lot of attacks to make sure that they don't get hit back.
Right.
So you basically have to wipe the front rank, right? Otherwise, they're going to do some nasty back to you. So whatever unit that might be, that's what you have to put this on. So.
I mean, 15 points, though, you know, the problem is the unit you're going to put this on, is there another banner or another thing that's going to be fighting for it, like War Banner or something like that?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like
I don't hate it for 15 points.
On like a flanker, like maybe some Senegors or something like that. If they can take a banner, and then they can just run up. They're going to charge something, right? With Swift Stride, they're going to hit it. They're going to hit whatever like Illyrian Reaver unit you got sitting out there. They're going to absolutely just crush it, right? Yep. And then move on with the day. Like I can see it being useful there for 15 points. I don't know if you're building lists. Does it make it in? Who knows?
We'll see. I mean, try it, see if it works for you. All right, and enchanted items up next, 35 points. Horn of the Great Hunt. Wait a second, don't the Wood Elves have that? Everybody's got it.
This is just the movie Predator overall, all over again.
Once per turn, after rolling to determine a unit with the ambusher special rule is currently held in reserve as reinforcements. If the bearer of the horn of the Great Hunt is on the battlefield and not fleeing, you may add +1 or -1 to the result. There you go, Neil.
Mhm.
As you alluded to,
There we are.
we found
There
it.
we are. We just got a lot better.
Yep, 35 points is being spent on this army all the time, as well as 45 points.
Yep.
All right, Scourge of the Burden, 25 points. Wielder of this may cast Call the Wild spell from Lore of Primal Magic as a bound spell, power level 2. Reserve move, so maybe, I don't know.
How many points?
25.
You put that on a unit champion.
Cacophonous Dirge, 15 points. Wilts within 18 inches of this unit of this item. Enemy musicians cannot use their onwards to victory, steadying rhythm, or quick time, so turn off musicians.
You know, it's the most terrifying thing on the battlefield. So
I don't, man, there's been plenty of times where I've had a draw and my musician wins it.
sure.
I don't know if it's. I like it. I wish that was just in the general thing, like not it's army. Like if it was in the general thing, it'd be a little more interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to want to pay points for that one. Like you're paying 80 points for that axe for sure.
Yeah. All right, arcane items to wrap it up here. Blood of the Shadow Gave, 35 points. Single use. Wizard may use this item instead of making wizardly dispel attempt. If they do so, the spell is automatically dispelled with no dispel roll required. Obviously, Perfect Invocation doesn't work. So, 35 points. Single Surian is what, 20 points, right?
I think yeah. I think you're looking at 45 points for 45 for some of the auto dispels for High Elf. So
yeah,
sounds better.
Yep, seems pretty good.
And hey,
guess what it has next to it? A cute little asterisk.
Okay.
So you can bring more in these.
Oh Jesus! Well, for 35 points, yeah, that's not terrible. But again, it's competing with some other things. And my question is, with all of these things right now, you love a dispel scroll, right?
Absolutely.
But how many wizards does your opponent have? And if they have a lot of level 4s, right, and they're casting, let's say, I don't know, 12, 16 spells, is getting rid of one of them when they could probably have multiple wizards that have the same spell that can cast it awesome? Maybe, right?
Yeah,
especially if you're going against an army with just one wizard, right? So it's not that it's not useful, but you're really going to have to pick your spots with that. So
yeah, but as a high elf player who plays 40 points for my Sigil of Assyrian auto dispel, and usually only needs to bring one level 4, you turn off my Walk Between Worlds at the right time, I will lose that game.
Right.
So
absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Daemon Heart, 30 points. When attempting a wizardly dispel, the bearer of the Demon Heart counts their level wizard as being one higher than the wizard who's trying to cast it. Or if it's a bound spell, you're one higher than the power level. So, hi, I'm a level 1. I found 30 points in my little back pocket here. I'd like to spend it on this. Oh, you're level 4 casting? Cool, I'm a level 5 dispelling now. Now, I think the range is still going to matter. So obviously, if you're level 1, you only have the shorter range.
Yeah.
But you ambush him in back line.
Yeah.
And that's not single use.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, here's my ambushing unit with my level 1 wizard. This was cheap as chips. I'm going to continually have a better shot at shutting down your magic.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. I like that a lot.
Level 1 wizard's not only going to get +2, right? Oh, it counts as one more always.
Counts one more always.
Nice. Okay.
So you need to be close. So hopefully you ambush him in with a unit to give him some protection, and he's just in the back line following your level 4 mage around and going, nope.
You pair that with the item that allows you to, manage your ambushing.
Yep, that's pretty good solid power play.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and last thing here, Goretooth, 15 points. A little asterisk next to this one too. In addition to Lores of Magic, no, normally the bearer of the Goretooth, no spells from Lore of Primal Magic. So those few things that maybe can't get Lore of Primal Magic, now they can. They just covered it in there. 15 points, not bad.
Yeah.
And that is Arcane Journal, Beastmen, Brayherds.
Yeah. It sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty good.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
It sounds really good. For an army that I think was doing okay. Anyway, it certainly wasn't bad. I think some players who can really put some good lists together with a good shake at this are gonna see a lot of good results.
I have a feeling you're gonna see more Beastmen come out for the next couple tournaments, for sure. And it won't surprise me if we see some Beastmans at the top, winning an event or two, or just moving into the top 3 spots pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm glad they're back in force. Like this is a fun thing we have to plan around and deal with now. So
hopefully people are very quickly going out and grabbing their Age of Sigmar Beastmen armies and clipping off those bases and putting some squares on them, because it's time. It's time to get them on the table.
Yeah, you can finally do what you've wanted to do forever, which is crush face.
Yes.
Well, we did it, Neil. We've reached the end of the complete core game system on these reviews. So, how do you think of Old World as a whole system now?
I still love the game. I know there's some issues right now. There's there's limitations. I build lists right now, and I feel like half of my options aren't really options,
right,
because infantry is in such a poor place. So I'd love to see that changed. But the thing about it is it's not far off. It's just some minor tweaks I think that needs to be made.
Yep.
And I think with some minor tweaks, maybe some points adjustments, things like that, you could get this game into a really good spot. And so I'm very anxious to see what's coming with the erratas and the facts and stuff like that. May they come soon, because I keep building lists, and I keep, we've all seen the rumors that are floating around out there.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, well, if this is actually true, then maybe this, and then, whatever. And it's really, making that space fun for me again, the list building space. So I think it's a great game. It's still absolutely my favorite system at the moment. So
yep.
I will continue playing it as such. So.
Same. I'm excited. I'm a little hesitant on some of those rumors going around. Some make sense. Some seem a little wish listy. So
yeah.
So,
they do.
So we'll wait and see how it actually shakes out. But hopefully we get stuff here soon. And like I said, now we're on to the DLC. We're on to Grand Cathay and such. So, and then the match play guide hopefully soon. But and the FAQ.
Yeah, I would love to see that FAQ come out before Grand Cathay, because, like you said, we've got a full complete game now. So let's kind of patch it up to where that complete game is run a little bit better, and then let's add in Cathay over top of that. Hopefully, with Cathay entertaining all of those fixes already in their rules.
That'd be nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll see, but yeah. And if you're listening to this on Monday, then you've already known that maybe we've seen a preview coming out here soon for it. But we'll catch you guys next week on this. But yeah, for now, Old World complete. We're going to keep talking about Old World, though, so get used to it, everybody.
Stay Stormcast strong.
Mm.